Our other starting was awesome. Hey, you already know what's up. Sorry, I'm just relaying a little message to our guests because we've been having some trouble. I'm sorry. Okay, so anyways, I'm sorry. So I'm Styles the Prophet. This is B Show. Yeah, you already know what it is. Gang. And making this all happen on the podcast ones and twos.
I'm trying my best.
We got Jonesy. Gang. So yeah, we've been having a little bit of trouble here and there. We had a camera issue, then we had an audio issue. We just got shit going on. It doesn't even matter because we're here now. It's fucking right. Friday. Happy motherfucking Friday.
Hey, yo, cheers to that.
Yeah. Do you guys know if the other episode posted?
I don't know. It probably did. Yeah.
Okay.
I can just delete that.
Oh no. Either way, I was just gonna say, go back and watch it, and you can see how killer our fucking beginning was. But I'm gonna try and replicate it right now. Well, I'm not gonna replicate it, but I'm gonna mention what was the thing we got. Birthdays. We got Jessie Reyes. Isn't she from Ottawa though?
Is she?
I don't know.
I
know that she played a blues fest, but that doesn't make her from Ottawa.
Yeah, totally.
But I thought she was. Maybe I'm thinking of that other girl, the girl that sang. You know, like she's a little bit bigger girl. She sang this song with the. She was like she worked in the cafeteria at Algonquin or something. I probably have the story wrong, but she's like famous. She had one song that just like blew the fuck up.
Oh, is that the I know who it is.
I'm not saying that's Jessie Reyes,
that's the
but
Friday song, isn't it?
Like, wait, do you mean like Friday?
What's the Friday song there?
That's,
who was that?
Yeah,
no, that's not even the same.
That's
what's her name?
Rebecca Black.
Rebecca Black.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then
but no, so Jessie Reyes, Dave Franco, James Franco's little brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's 35 today. So that just shows how old James Franco is. And I said this on the last one. The oldest one on the list. Give it up for Anne Frank.
Hey.
Yay. But yeah, Anne Frank, that's crazy though. It's cool too because it's like Anne Frank and then James Franco.
Right.
Dave Franco or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of
actually, you know what? Right? Actually, I gotta say this. Right as we figured out the audio issue last time and we started shutting her down, I was about to say, I want to give a shout out to one of the realest G's I know. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. My dad, Rick Johnson. I love you. Cheers.
Hey.
Cheers, boys. We're sipping on that Pink Whitney.
Finally.
He's our beer sponsor and my racing sponsor for the weekend. He probably won't like to hear that, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to make me.
I'm just joking. I won't race, but I will say though, the car that my sponsor gave me has a sport mode, and don't be scared. I just like tried it just to see like what happens. It's not cool. It's kind of scary. Like, you know, like in a normal car, you like put your throttle like quarter of the way down and you go, ooh, and then you keep your foot there and then it stays there, right? Like if you pick the speed you want to get at and you stay there. So I was like, let's see what like a little bit of throttle will do on the sport setting. There's 7 different settings for this thing.
What? Really?
Yeah. And so I put it on the sports setting and I give it a little gas and I was actually with my little brother and I see him do this. Grab his seatbelt, but even myself, like, and like I did this like just enough to say that the throttle was like pushed down, and it didn't just go and like, oh cool, it went ooh, and it kept going, like it was speeding up. So I was like, that's scary, man. I was like, ooh, turn it off. What the fuck? But there's 7 settings. There's deep snow. There's trails and rocks. There's slippery.
Okay.
There's normal. I guess normal isn't a setting if it's like 0 or whatever, but there's normal. Then there's something else.
How's our audio?
Eco. And then there's the sport, and then there's the towing and hauling. It's crazy. Anyways, shout out to my sponsor, my dad.
Shout out.
A shout out to our actual sponsor.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't do that on this episode. So
go back and watch the
just watch the other one. I'm too lazy. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. We got to see our sponsor Oasis, Greengrass Oasis, at Pickwackinagon, because they've been closed for a bit at the reserve, and they have been letting people in. My buddy actually went there, and the RCMP stopped him and turned him around, and he's like, man, good thing I didn't smoke a doob on the way. But no, so yeah, we were finally able to go see them. I went up and saw them. Kayla hooked us up huge. Kayla and Derek, sorry, fuck. Sorry, bro. But Kayla and Derek hooked us up big. We got a fucking gram of shatter. We got all kinds of fucking weed. We got some Tom Ford that's crazy nuts. We're smoking on that the pink, you said, what'd you say, the dink Wi-Fi? The pink Wi-Fi. It does look like dink Wi-Fi.
Dink Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it does. Where is it?
Package at?
It's one of them.
Right here.
Yeah. So then we got some edibles. We got these gummies from Mr. Kush VIP. They make that like juice and shit, like the syrup shit that I was drinking before. We got a chocolate bar that's 1,000 milligrams. It looks like a gold bar.
Solid gold.
But that motherfucker might be up for grabs in a fucking contest.
That's right. Heard it here first.
We got a shatter bar. We got some THC tea. We got these THC drops. That's right. I didn't explain this. So I took these drops on the part. We just did an episode, like 5-minute, and it fucked up. So I took this. I took 1.5 of these, and what I was explaining, like 1.5 of these droppers. What I was explaining is that one dropper is 100 milligrams. My boy Derek at Greengrass Oasis at 541B Cocomus Road, just off Highway 60. Anyways, he said that he told me to take half of one of these and see how it goes. He said, I know you're strong with your edibles, and I just want to see how it goes, you know? So the other day I didn't smoke any weed, and I just took half of this, and I was good. Like, I wasn't like fucked up. I still wanted to smoke some weed just for the habit of smoking the weed, but I was like, had a like enough of a little buzz just to be like, you know, like if I was going somewhere I couldn't smoke weed, I would take this and do this or whatever, right? But so the point is, I took 1.5 this time because I wanted to see like the next level up, right? Like, because now I'm gonna see what it does when I'm smoking a bunch of weed and shit. Right. And Jonesy actually got the CBD drops. It's the same little thing like this with the CBD,
which I'm looking forward to trying.
And yeah, so it's funny because as soon as I got here, he's like, "Yo, man," he's like, "Fuck," I'm like, "This is the CBD." He's like, "Man," he's like, "I want some of that. How much you want for it?" I'm like, "They gave it to us to try, and I'm already on it. So if I tried CBD when I'm already on it, it wouldn't make any difference, right?" But I will say, one thing I will say is, remember my back was all fucked up? That month, I was off the CBD. I took it for 2 months. Then I was off it for a month, because you're supposed to take it for a month and then not take it for a month.
Is that like recommended, or is that just something you chose?
Actually, no, I was going to say, I don't know if that, I say supposed to, but one of my buddies told me this, so I don't know where he got it from or if he made it up or whatever, but he said to take it on and off, 1 month on, 1 month off. I guess, I don't know, it kind of makes sense, I guess, because then you're like, because you'd have to like up your dose maybe or something. I don't know.
I guess that makes sense.
When I got back on it, because I even waited it out. I didn't even think anything of it. I was just like, oh, my back's fucked, who cares? So I waited it out. And then after the month, I was like, okay, start doing it again. And yeah, man, I can even like feel it in my joints and shit. Okay, so I offered her to let us call her.
Yeah.
And she said, let's just do July 10th. Thank you. And be sure to tell the others it's all love.
Okay.
And if she wants to, like, we're like, if she's not too busy, tell her to just tune in for a little bit and just watch.
Oh, true, yeah.
But I appreciate. I'm just gonna have to say right now, Misha, I'm sorry. I feel like this is my fault. I fucking tried to get all this shit set up too quick, and
hey man, it's not your fault. It's a first. Actually, we actually hadn't.
But I was looking forward to like sitting down and getting the Zoom call, and it's just unfortunate that it had to happen this way. But hey, maybe it's for the best, right? Maybe it all happened for a reason.
That's
so
right.
Yeah. So we were supposed to have Misha on, and if you know Misha, we know Misha. But no, so she's part of Dreamland.
Yeah.
She's a fire rapper. She just released a song too. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, man. Go check it out, man. I got it. Funny thing is I'm gonna say it right now. I was looking at her YouTube last night, and I was watching. What's the one you say?
Set It Off.
Or Set It Off, yeah. So I was listening to that song, and then I went to her page to see if there was any like what was the newest shit, and there was nothing. Well, no, there was music, but not like the Alpha Barbie song wasn't out, right? So then I was like scrolling through some shit. I listened to a couple more of her songs, and then I think I got into like some Dreamland shit or something, like someone else or whatever. So I was listening to some other shit, and then I went and I'm like, oh wait, I'm getting away from her. So I went back and searched her name again, and it came up, boop, Alpha Barbie. I must have like just got it within like a few minutes or something. I'm like, oh yeah, and fucking I bumped it a couple times. But no, so yeah.
Do we have permission to play that song, or should...
I can get it right now.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm just gonna say though, yeah. So we were supposed to have her through like a while ago too, and something,
2 times
twice, yeah,
twice.
And something happened both times, whatever on her end or our end or whatever.
Yeah, Corona was one. Of them.
Definitely, yeah. So either way, it doesn't matter. She was supposed to come before, and this is now the 3rd time that this has happened to us. Or us being her as well. Like we're all in this together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we kind of fucked this up. And so we apologize to her.
Yeah.
So we're sorry, Misha.
Yeah.
But please look forward to her coming again very fucking soon, though, because I already gave it away. I already told you the date. I was gonna dance around the date in case something else. I already told you.
It won't happen. Like there's like it will happen, but nothing bad will happen. Is what I'm supposed to say. Yeah.
And if you're wondering why we can't get her on at this point, it's because, well, you should already know. Actually, bring your A game. 10 o'clock, Dynamic, Misha. You already know what it is.
Hopefully we can play it.
Yeah, perfect.
She hasn't answered, but we'll see what's up. But anyways.
So yeah, that's true though. Like so and again, that kicks off in an hour.
Yeah, so she's
once you're done listening to and watching live the audio podcast, go right on over there and check that out.
Fucking right. Did I already do the fucking? Yeah, I did. Never mind.
You done did it.
No, I was gonna thank yeah. I was making sure we talked about all our sponsors and shit.
Oh yeah. We've been there.
I also didn't mention though that Greengrass Oasis, you can find them at Tyndonega and Shannonville as well. I think I said that on the last one, but not on this one. It's funny because like we did one real quick, and then like I don't remember what I say.
Right, I don't even know if they could hear what we were saying though through a portion of that last little brief episode.
But even then, I'm trying to think of what I already said, and like I've already said this weed sponsor thing like this time. So then. But I'm like, oh yeah, I already said it. No, I already said it last time. No, I said it twice. Anyways,
it never hurts to just keep plug in the plug, you know?
Yeah,
fucking exactly. Right. Actually, they were really super generous to us this time. They gave us, they upgraded our like credit, and then like they gave us a bunch of shit on top of it.
Man, look at all this stuff.
So actually, you guys help yourself. But like do it in the sense that you're like gonna like take some and review it and shit. You know what I mean?
I will so this is one. Sorry to interrupt. But like so what I was saying on the last episode, and I don't know if the listeners heard, that I have been smoking weed on a daily basis for a very, very long time.
I've been holding this for a long time too. Sorry. Oh wait, I got the fucking reacher.
Oh yeah, fucking right. It's hurting my back, you know. But yeah, like I was smoking weed like for a daily basis for a really long time, and recently, like I said, like this year especially has been a fucking crazy roller coaster, and the whole world is changing, and everything's and it feels. I don't know if it's just like some universal fucking energy that's going on, but it feels like we're being forced into a change here,
man.
And I like honestly. So I think I've been mentally clouded for a very long time because I smoke so much weed, and I got a 2x4 against the head the other not a real 2x4 but a metaphorical 2x4
proverbial 2x4
and I realized that I need to make some changes. I need to stop smoking enough weed. Like this is the most I've talked on this fucking podcast for a while, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me a zombie. It makes me so internal that I can't communicate very well. So I need to like cut back on this stuff, which is why I was so stoked about getting this CBD oil.
Right.
Because I want the medical benefits of it, and just like I just want to see how it makes me feel for one, if it has any benefits because I've never tried it before, so
Yeah.
I just want to see what it does. And I stopped smoking. I'm holding a blunt in my hand right now as I say this.
I would smoke weed for a minute.
But I stopped, so I haven't. This is literally the first weed I've smoked since Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Friday now, so and that's been the longest I've not smoked weed. And again, like it must be at least like 12 fucking years or probably more that like I haven't smoked weed on a daily basis. So again, that for me is like a long period of
Big
time.
Step.
Yeah,
One large
yeah.
step for Matt.
Well, like, other than like a good handful of times, basically for the last, like, this fall will be 20 years. I've smoked weed every fucking day, basically. But like, you got to take out. So I've been in some unfortunate scenarios, and actually, once again, thanks to my dad, kind of helped me out sometimes. So I mean, like, there was times where I had to like go away and like I couldn't smoke weed. The one time I did, it was fucked up, but I had to go away and like I couldn't smoke weed. So I mean, like, there was like 10 weekends or some shit. So I mean, like, that'd be like 2 days at a time. But there was a time where I was like, fuck it, I'm like moving out west and shit, and I'm gonna get, like, my buddy was working on this crazy job and shit, but you get drug tests and shit out there, right? Even weed and stuff, right? So I was like, I'm quitting smoking weed and I'm fucking like doing this shit. Like, I had like a fucking some shit happen to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm going out there. And I think I quit for 5 days, and it was fucking hard. But you know what the hardest thing about it was if I was alone and just like sitting there, I didn't fucking care, man. I would think about it sometimes, like
not care about smoking weed.
yeah, and like I would think about it sometimes, and like there was time, and like but you know what's funny is the whole time that I did that, well, the 5 days I did that, I had a jar of weed underneath the seat of my car, and well, not a jar of weed, I had a jar with like some weed in it. And I think what helped me was the fact that I knew that I had this like bomb ass weed sitting there, and I could smoke it at any moment if I wanted.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to.
Right.
And like, so I would sit there, and most of it for me was like the act of smoking it and tasting the weed.
Yeah.
So I'd sit there and be like, oh man, I don't really care to be stoned right now. It's the middle of the afternoon, but I want to like smoke that weed.
Yeah.
But then fucking, oh shit.
And this is a problem, right? This is something
Where
I
did that come
like.
from?
Exactly. So this is something I'm realizing.
But what did I say though? I said, but like, so, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that.
And I couldn't help you. I don't know. We were talking about like there was brief periods where you didn't smoke weed, and then you
so then I quit smoking weed for the 5 days.
See, I remember that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And so then like so I would think about, I want to smoke that weed, but like I said, for some reason in my head it was like I knew that I had the weed there and I could smoke it at any moment, and that helped me not smoke weed for some reason. But the hardest part of not smoking weed or trying to quit smoking weed, like coming from smoking weed all the time to like not smoking it at all,
Right.
was anytime I met somebody, or not met them, but like talked to any of my friends and hung out with them, I'm like, let's smoke weed.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even have to pull it out or be smoking a joint.
It
I'm
literally
like, I
became
wanna
like a
smoke weed.
ritual. Like if I'm in a movie, gotta smoke joint. Oh, I'm making breakfast or making dinner. Oh, gotta smoke joint before. Like
Fucking right, man.
anything. It was just like it just
Smoking
became
joint first,
exactly. So it just
Yeah.
became like a crutch almost. And like I started to realize that like why do I even do this? Like what? It's not. It doesn't like it used to make
It used to be a weekend thing.
Yeah, and it used
yeah.
to make things like way more fun.
For
But I think because I've built up such a tolerance, it doesn't do that for me anymore.
Oh,
so it's like
smoking a cigarette before you watch a movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
yeah. So
Whatever,
exactly. So it doesn't give me that same like enjoyment that it used to.
For sure.
And there was a period of time where I'd smoke a joint and just kind of feel gross afterwards. I'm just like, nah.
Remember
it's just-
you telling me about that when I
Yeah.
first started working with
And I
you?
was just like, nah, I'm just kind of like, it made me sort of feel sick. And then because I work seasonally, like I work all summer and get the winters off. When I get the
Yeah.
winters off and I have not much to do,
Yeah.
there's nothing preventing me from just smoking weed all day.
Yeah,
so
for
like,
real, yeah.
and so that's what I did. And I got back into smoking it again. And again, I guess you just build that tolerance
Well,
and it just stops being fun. So,
Yeah.
and I think I'm just at that point again now, but I just want it to be a more permanent
Meaningful
thing
thing,
because I
yeah.
do realize like I dream more and I remember my dreams. I can
Dude.
I can
Yeah,
hold a
yeah.
conversation better. Like I don't know. It's just way more like the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. Like it used to be great. I treasure the fucking great times that I've had smoking, and I probably will continue. Like again on the podcast, I'm saying this right now, and I'm holding a fucking blunt. But it's like there's a time and a place, right? Like, and instead of doing it just like ritually throughout the day because of everything, now it's like, okay, maybe it's just before I go to bed, or you know, or just on every Friday, like, you know what I mean? If it was just like an every Friday during the podcast thing, celebrating with the boys and smoking a blunt, then like, perfect, you know. But it's just that I just want to step away from that dependence, you know.
Two things. One is that, so like my buddy Pat, he's been on here before, eh? So
shout out Pat.
Shout out Pat. Gang. Actually, he's got a little boy, and like I brought my son there the other day, and they like chill and play video games and shit.
Right on. That's awesome, man.
But funny thing is, actually, real quick, I'm gonna get right back to that. But they actually fucking randomly, I heard the door slam. Like, where'd they go? He's like, oh, they're probably outside.
Oh yeah,
they're fucking running around in this big yard, like shooting each other with guns and shit. Well, no, sorry, like toy guns. But like,
of course.
I was like, really? And I had to go and look out the window. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, they're actually just like on their own. We're like, we're going outside. And it was windy and kind of cold and shit. And it was just like weird. We didn't have to be like, go outside and do shit. What's that?
Yours or his? Who's the older?
My son's older. Yeah.
Okay.
But sorry, back to the weed thing. So my buddy, Pat quit smoking weed for, I think it was like 40 days or 41 days. If you're watching, comment.
40 days and 40 nights.
But he quit smoking weed, and two things you said there made me think of this. One was he said the thing he missed the most about weed. Sorry, I'm holding it like it's a fucking stage mic. So the thing he missed the most about weed was like buying weed, was like looking at it and touching it and smelling it and like, you know what I mean? And I was like, that's crazy. Like that. And then, but then the other thing is that you said too, is like you were talking about smoking it before bed and shit.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't go to sleep. He wasn't able to sleep. Well, he would sleep, but like it was hard for him to sleep.
Yeah.
But he said he would take CBD, and CBD would help him sleep. I find CBD doesn't help me sleep, but like maybe it does because I'm taking it right before I go to bed, and then I go to sleep. But I don't like. I think I'm looking for like I'm tired feeling.
So you know what else about? Sorry to interrupt.
Use that, yeah.
But like so I couldn't give a good like if I smoked weed on a daily basis, I couldn't probably give a good review about the effects of this.
No.
Right? Because I don't know whether if it's what I'm smoking or if it's this or like, you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't even have, and what I'm talking about right now is the CBD oil.
Oh yeah. But that's like, that's more like, it doesn't give you any feeling. That's more like in your body.
Yeah.
Like that, like
pain reliever almost.
It lubricates your fucking joints. It like rebuilds the like liquid in your joints and shit. It rejuvenates your internal organs. Well, like apparently. Just man, it has so many fucking effects in it. Like I have this thing at home. Actually, I think I gave it to my dad, but it's got a bunch of shit on it. It's like a little tray. It's actually cool. It's a fucking pamphlet, or not a pamphlet. It's like one of those things you'd pull out that's got like information on it, like a pamphlet, but it doesn't fold open. It'd just be like a big piece of filter, basically. But it's fuck me. Oh yeah, so it folds a certain way. And then it turns into a little boat, like not an actual boat, but like a little like rolling boat.
Right, yeah.
And anyways. Short story long is on the thing. It shows like THC, like what do you call it? Like a web chart or whatever. So it's like THC, and then it goes out and it's like CBNs and like CBDs and like THCA and like all this shit out from it. And then all of those things, like it's like antimicrobial, antibiotic, fucking anti-inflammatory, fucking antiseptic. No, I don't know. I'm just going anti now, but it might even be antiseptic too. But it's just like a bunch of shit. Like, man, I'll actually get it or take a picture of it or whatever. It's crazy, the shit. Like, I'm like, man, you're making shit up now. You know, like it'll clean your walls and shit. Like, you know, it's just like holy fuck. But yeah, apparently has a lot of shit in it. So even just like whatever, like anti-inflammatory, you know what I mean? So like just crazy shit. I'm like, that's fucked, man. But like I said, I would never believe it. I was only taking it because I just thought, I just heard shit, right? So I'm just like, let's just see, let's try. But the only proof I have is my back. I'm not saying that it caused
and
my
I have
back
a mad back problem. Like, when you were in pain, man, I sympathize so much.
I looked at that picture the other day whenever I'm standing here with the cane, and I was just, man, you can see my knuckles, man. I'm holding on to that cane for my life, man.
Yeah, you're a trooper to come even out here on that day.
I
Fuck.
thought of that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck was I thinking, man? Like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I can't even go up the stairs when I'm like that, man. I'm like, moving is the worst.
Oh, fuck.
The things we take for granted, eh? Like,
It's true,
Oh,
man.
well, now, like, I do certain things, and, like, I'm still, like, I'm not saying that has still affected me, but, like, my back is still fucked anyways.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't really jump around a whole lot anyways. Maybe I should fucking stretch it out once in a while. But point is then I find myself, like, even just, like, say, just sitting in a chair or something, and then try and, like, get up real quick and, like, go
Oh,
to do
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, right on. And I'm like, I couldn't do that 2 months ago.
No,
I'm like,
man,
I
yeah.
couldn't, like, I wouldn't even think about doing
Yeah,
that. And I
yeah.
just did it without
it's
thinking,
like take
you know?
stairs two at a time, you know? It's
Yeah,
like-
exactly. Yeah, and like
went-
it doesn't hurt now, but and I'm not saying it'll hurt later, but it's just that I fucking could not I would never
Not
dream
even-
of doing that. You would have to like if it
Oh,
was like
man.
my life or jump 2 stairs at a time, I'm getting shot
Yeah.
dead right there. Like no,
Oh man, did you guys end up watching or listening to the Kevin Hart, Joe Rogan?
oh fuck,
The
okay.
second
They
one,
talk
no,
about-
I saw
they
the
talk
first one. I
about
didn't see the
exactly
second one.
this kind
Yes,
of thing,
yes,
man.
yes. Okay, so remember
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's
remember
so
the other night I
inspiring.
said that I watched part of it on the way home
Yeah,
like 2
yeah,
weekends
you
ago.
set it up, yeah.
And then halfway home it shut off because it was the YouTube video, so it fucking
oh,
it's harder to load.
Yeah.
And the further I get from the city, the shittier I get.
Cuts out, of course.
So it cut out. So then I fucking, you know what's also funny is I went onto my fucking laptop.
yeah.
Shout out Gino for the laptop. See you tonight, motherfucker. But I was on the laptop and I went into my YouTube and one of the fucking suggestions on there was Joe Rogan. It said How Rogan, but
Yeah, yeah.
Joe Rogan and Kevin Hart.
Oh,
And I'm like, man, I must have came home and watched it. But that night that I left you, I started it.
Mm.
And I fucking drove home at that same spot. It stopped. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, it stopped. I'm like, well, and I just left it there with the little circle going.
yeah.
I drove like another like 10 minutes. And all of a sudden they started talking, but I had it like full blast. I'm like,
Oh, that would have scared the shit.
fuck. All of a sudden Kevin Hart's in the car and shit. Well, holy fuck, man. But then it played all the way home. So I must have, whenever I got home, I must have fucking turned it on the laptop and fucking put it in my headphones.
Yeah.
But whenever you said that, no, yeah, they do talk about that. They talk
Yeah.
about fucking. Remember, he's talking about how he like fucking came back from his back injury and shit,
yeah.
and like they were saying like he wouldn't do certain shit and
Yeah.
whatever, but he was like, I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
and like he was doing exercises when
And yeah,
he
he's-
wasn't
asked him
supposed
what
to
he
and
could
shit.
do. He's like, what if I just like had balls in my hands or whatever? He's like, can I squeeze them? He's like,
Yeah,
He's like, and then he's talking about it being the game. He talks about life being a game, right? And so he was like, all right, this is the next level. What can I do? He's like,
yeah.
what can I do to get to the next level?
Bring that mic closer.
Oh yeah, sorry. So he's talking about what can he do to get to the next level, and that was it. He's like, he asked the doctor, what can I do? Other things, other than like doing this for the day and then like resting, going to bed, doing it again the next day. Like, what can I do while I'm like resting, right? So he's talking about like, I don't know, playing with like like stress balls in his hands or something.
Playing with
Yeah,
balls.
'cause it
And
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was like rest days or something like that
Yeah.
or whatever, and he's like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do at that point? Yeah, and then, I
Man.
forgot about that. He's like, even just like squeeze some balls or
Yeah.
something. Like,
It's mind over matter, man, and a lot of human beings have actually proved that true.
you ever heard of the $1 Million Man?
I definitely have, but
It's
I'm
faster
gonna-
and stronger.
I think I might have made the name up actually,
Yeah.
or well, not made it up. I think I may have put the wrong name on.
Okay.
I think they might call him the Miracle Man.
The
Maybe
Miracle Man.
the guy was flying a fucking plane. Watch the movie The Secret, and if you have seen
Oh,
The
I
Secret,
don't think I have.
okay, wait, sorry, I'm gonna start that again. If you haven't watched the movie The Secret, watch it,
Yeah,
and if you have seen it, watch it again.
yeah.
So that's a good segue. Oh, sorry, continue. your
So
thought.
yeah, so the guy fucking got in not just an accident. He wrecked a plane, man. Like he crashed
Yeah.
a fucking plane. He broke like, I'm gonna say every bone in his body, if not like close to or whatever. Like the
Yeah.
guy was like mush or whatever, right? Basically, you're never gonna walk again if you fucking survive.
Yeah.
Or he's never gonna. They probably weren't telling him that.
Right.
Never gonna walk again if he survives.
Yeah.
Well, the guy survived. Whenever you see him, his face all fucked up, kind of, and he
Yeah,
talks weird and shit.
right.
But he's alive. And you know
man.
what he fucking did?
Yeah.
Was he walked out of that hospital.
Yeah.
Like he got wheelchaired to the door
Of course.
and he
when
got
you
up
stepped out.
and walked to the car
That's
a
what
few
it's all
steps or
about,
whatever,
man,
but they
yeah.
said he wouldn't walk.
Right,
So like that's
exactly,
fucking
man,
insane.
and
And
he
he like
fucking-
walked into that interview or whatever, right?
That's amazing.
So like and that's because he said to himself,
Mind over matter,
I'm
man.
fucking
That's
doing
fucking-
it. You
yeah.
tell me that, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no,
man.
so the movie The Secret is all about that.
So that's what I okay. That's
And
what I was gonna say.
so that's why I brought it back. Yeah.
Right. So I've kind of gone back and forth on this for a while. Like this movie, like so I think it was my mom that showed me.
I have
this
so
movie.
much proof.
And my
man. I have
mom
so
is-
much
my-
proof.
I got a movie after.
So
this.
like my mom is such a
This is
spiritual. Like the universe is, gives you what you think about, and which is basically the premise of
Shout
The
out
Secret.
to Karen.
Yeah. I love you, mom.
Yeah. big
so
shout out.
basically that is the premise of that whole documentary like movie kind of thing.
You saw
is
that?
like the
He's
the
talking
secret.
about?
Yeah,
Okay,
the secret. Yeah. So
okay,
again, my
cool.
mom showed it to me.
I have
Yeah.
proof of this shit.
And
man.
Yeah.
so there's all kinds of like proofs, like air quotes, right? So
yeah. But
Um,
nothing is a coincidence.
Yeah.
See, there's always a way out, right?
But I also believe in coincidence up to a point.
Right. So
I can't
but
say
see, I did. So like, I remember a few years back, I worked for the city of. Like, I was contracted to the city of Ottawa through a landscape company that I work with, and at the time, like it was like the highest paying job that I had at that time, but I still wasn't making that much money, and I really needed some new shoes. I didn't want to ask anyone for new shoes or anything, but I'm like, whatever, I need some new shoes.
Yeah.
And my mom was all like, if you think about it hard enough, she's like, you'll
Oh
get
yeah,
it, you know?
yeah. You told me.
So
this,
I'm
yeah.
legit walking down the street. My job basically was to change garbage cans downtown Rideau. Like that's
Yeah.
what I did. I just walked down the Rideau market and I changed garbage cans, and we'd. So yeah, it wasn't the best job in the world, but it was money.
money.
Regardless, I'm walking down and I see like this shoe box.
No.
And I'm like, oh, I just assumed it was garbage at first. I picked it up and it had some weight to it. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna open this. And there was like, someone had obviously bought new. It wasn't the shoes that were in the box weren't.
Brand new.
They weren't. So someone had obviously bought new shoes, put their old shoes in this box,
Right.
and just left it there.
Yeah.
But from what I these were in good condition. Like they were fucking better kicks than I had at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, is this because I thought about it? I don't know, like, did I manifest this shit into reality?
Yeah.
Or was I like, those shoes would have always been there? Like, obviously, but if I didn't need shoes or I wasn't thinking about shoes, I wouldn't have noticed
Exactly.
them, and I would have just thrown it. Like, so,
Yeah.
you know what I
Buy
mean?
them
So,
or-
like,
yeah.
it always would have been there, but it's just your presence of mind at the time and what you're focusing on is what. So that's kind of the difference, right? You focus on, you get what you focus on,
Yeah.
and it's because if what you're focusing on is, going on, you're going to notice it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So if you're focusing on is like negative shit in life, that's all you're going to
That's all you're gonna
notice.
see. Yeah.
Right.
It's true.
So all the good stuff is still happening.
Yeah.
All this stuff is always going to be still happening. It's not like
Yeah.
you're creating it with your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just what you focus on
Yep.
is what you notice. Therefore, what you focus on is what you get.
That's
Right?
it,
So
man.
that was a long
Fucking
way of
right.
saying all
I
that
love
shit.
that.
Right?
Yeah,
but
bro,
it's so
yeah.
true though, and it's so fucking true because even too, like
Oh,
they
man.
say in that movie too, like so if they're just using this as a like an easy example, but if you're like, man, I want to win the lottery, I could pay off those bills. And like whatever,
yeah.
right?
Oh, man, I've
now
had
you've
that
tainted
thought.
that thought
Like myself.
with paying off those bills.
Yeah.
You just got to think about winning the lottery.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like whether or not you're going to pay your bills off or whatever the fuck anyways.
Exactly.
When you think that, you're tainting that
Right.
with that thought, right? So now you've made it negative.
Right.
So like there's even like the negative just takes over or whatever, right?
Exactly.
But then like
I'm stuck with
I
this.
feel
I'm stuck with
I
this,
feel like it's a
right?
pretty like this. So going back to what I was saying before, like
but
if
I've
I-
actually done this, man.
but has anyone ever won the lottery just by thinking about it?
I have won
Maybe.
I have won multiple poker tournaments because all week all I focused on was not the money and not what I could do with the money, not anything about like being better
That's
than
it.
anyone.
Right.
It was that
Focused on-
feeling. I would picture in my head, I was like working, making cement, and I was like picturing me and one other person left in this game. And my buddy had games every weekend, right? So I was I was like going to play this game, right? And so I'm picturing
What it all comes down
when you
to.
go all in, you flip over your cards and shit, right? And so I pictured me and I always would picture me and somebody flipping over our cards, and it would be on like the turn or whatever, right? So there's one more card to come, and then that card would come over, and I wouldn't even picture the cards, even like not that I would know like what cards were what. It's just that in my head I knew that card made me win
Yeah.
and they lost.
Yeah.
And that was that feeling of I just sat here this long and won this tournament, you know? Like an accomplishment, right?
Right.
It was either 3 or 4 weeks in a row I won that fucking tournament
Nice.
every weekend. And they were even like, man, everyone's like, man, what the fuck? Like, it might even been longer, but everyone's like, man, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and that's, I fucking, I mean, you could also say like, yeah, I played my way to that point.
You
'Cause
did.
I
Well, you
did.
obviously did. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I put that in my head. I was like, that's it.
See,
And I
that's a
got
big part of
bicycle
poker,
this
though,
way.
right? Is like confidence and like
Right,
your presence.
yeah,
So
exactly.
if you're constantly thinking about that, see, this is what I'm on board with. Is like with a poker match, you can think positively and project a confidence and you know and put that intimidation. So therefore, you're gonna be a better poker player. Like you're gonna like people. You're gonna be harder to read. You're gonna be you project that confidence. So people are gonna question like if you're throwing out bets or whatever, people are gonna take you seriously.
Yeah.
But man,
But if you're just sitting there thinking about shit, I want to win the lottery. You got first of all you got to go
buy
out
a
and
ticket.
actually play the lottery,
but
right?
man, but I have a
And
perfect
second of-
example of just random fucking, here's your fucking thing because you thought about it enough.
Yeah.
I went into the bike store in Renfrew whenever I was a little kid. And they were like, I used to go in there all the time, man, and I would just like look at stickers and shit, right? Like maybe buy 1 or 2 or whatever, but like I would just look at how much is that one? How much is that one? How much is that one? And fucking they started selling GT bicycles. And like whenever I was a kid, I remember one of my buddies had one, and it had like a little like skid plate under the like crank or whatever. And anyways, I was so obsessed
Was
with them.
that Martin's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so fucking shout out Ruth. Meow.
Yeah.
But so then I was like, man, I'm fucking they these in, right?
Yeah.
So they got I think they got like a No, I don't think they got any bikes in yet. But anyways, either way, they got a fucking like a catalog, like a lookbook thing. And I took one, I didn't take one, they like gave me one. And I went home, man, and I looked at this thing and I was like, circled this one. I'm like, maybe this one. And I was like, whatever. But there was this one. I fucking would like look at it every day and circle it. Fucking. And then my little brother, he circled one in there. He was like, I want that one. There was just one in there that he picked. There was one that I kept circling. There was probably like 4 in there that I liked. But there was one I kept circling. Fucking. Someone told me that Martins had gotten in 2 BMX bikes. And I was like, man, I gotta go check those out. I went there. Guess what fucking 2 bikes are there? The one that I circled 100 times and the one that my brother wanted.
Oh, really?
Fucking, I mean, also, I may remember this wrong. I believe that, like, nothing was ever said about it. Like, maybe we were overheard talking about it or something.
Right.
But then I remember my dad, like, got, like, I don't know, some money or something. Or maybe he was just like, either way, it was like, he was like, we're going to buy you guys bikes.
Right.
So let's go to Martin's and like pick out some bikes.
Sad,
and I was like,
man. No way.
we're getting the fucking bikes. I was like, we're getting those bikes, you know? So I mean, like, at that point, now that I say the story again, too, like, maybe they overheard us talking about it, and maybe I remember the
course,
story
yeah,
wrong, and maybe we
probably.
begged them for
Yeah.
them. But either way, I just felt like it just came. But whenever I watched the movie The Secret, I'm like, that's never happened. And then one day I thought of it, I'm like, fuck, that fucking happened.
happened,
like,
yeah.
all kinds of shit. I've had, man,
That's cool.
I think it was just a couple weeks ago, I said it. I don't know if I said it on here or not.
Yeah.
But I did have it for a topic, I think. And it was how I ordered. Okay, it's coming. I'm just trying to remember the details. Okay, I ordered this burger. And
Had cheese on it.
yeah, no, for sure. It was.
Don't distract them.
But wait, okay, wait. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to get. Okay, yeah. So it was the like spicy chicken at Harvey's.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, it already has hot sauce on it. So I'm like, I won't get. Oh no, wait. Yeah. So I was like, I won't get any like hot shit on it, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, yeah, and you top your burger yourself, right? So I'm like, I want like lettuce and like barbecue sauce. And I was like, no, that's it, whatever, right? And fucking, I'm like, fuck, I kind of want hot peppers on that. I should have got hot peppers. I fucking got hot peppers on that shit.
Yeah.
Randomly. I was like, no fucking way, man.
That's wild.
Do you think they just appeared on your burger when you thought about it?
I've had it. Yeah. Well, see, but even then, because actually I did bring this up before, because I remember saying, I'm like, maybe it was like, because someone challenged me on like the likelihood of like, or not even the likelihood, but like how that would happen.
Keep going.
Yeah. So, but someone challenged me on it, and I was like, yeah, but I'm like, maybe, because they were like, oh, it's just because that person was dumb, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, but maybe, like, whatever power out there, like God, for the lack of a better term or whatever,
Yeah.
put that dumb person in that spot at that moment,
Yeah,
so
man,
they would
yeah.
fuck that up,
Yeah.
and I would get it, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? But yeah, man, it has so many. I mean, that's like a little example. The bike's like a kind of a bigger example. I hit that bear earlier that day, man.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact details of my daydream, but I had a daydream that I got in an accident, and I remember like fucking actually like being there in the moment, you know? And I was like, that's fucked. Hit the bear, and it was like either the next day or 2 days later. I'm like, man, earlier that day, I'm like, I fucking really like envisioned hitting something hard.
Really?
And I
eh?
was like, man, I like brought it on, right?
That's wild.
See?
Yeah.
You can bring the negative on too, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
But
for
see,
sure.
and
Like you
that's-
get what you focus on. Like you,
Exactly.
like yeah. If you but like this is where like I understand like you get what you focus on in a sense.
Right.
But I don't think you create your reality in a way that if
No,
you just
no.
think about it, that's what's gonna happen.
So yeah,
So-
like
Right?
you
Like-
still. Well, that's the thing. Actually, just real quick.
It's like these things are going to happen, but whatever your mindset is, that's how
Yeah.
you roll with
Well,
it,
in
right?
the-
So it's either going to be negative or a positive, but it depends on, like, you know what I'm saying, how you perceive it and what your mind, like, if your mindset's positive, then it's going to take a lot to, like, affect you, right? Like, it'll take a lot to, like,
But see, like.
put a negative
Yeah, and this-
aspect in
yeah,
Well,
your day,
and I
in
think
the
it's like
movie, in the movie, sorry, I just want to say this really quick. In the movie too, though, because you guys are talking about like basically, if you want to win the lottery, you got to buy a lottery ticket at least.
Of course.
So like, what I'm saying too, though, is like in that movie too, they talk about this guy. He was like, I'm gonna sell my book for $100,000 or something like that, right? And a year later, he sold his book for $100,000.
Right.
But he obviously wrote a book and tried to
He
get
put the
that
work
out of it.
in,
Yeah, like
right?
so
That's
like
it.
so like he earned it and shit, right? He just basically you're setting yourself like that goal or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're making it a thing or whatever, right?
And he achieved
And so like yeah, so point is, the only reason I bring that up is because they also show too, like you can't just sit there and be like,
exactly.
I want
come
something.
on,
I want
money.
it.
And
Yeah,
it's just like,
exactly.
who's
So-
there?
And that's the
Like,
thing. So
Yeah.
you can't like obviously you don't just create reality the way
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
it with your
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you are a go getter and you want to achieve
Put it in
something,
motion.
you have a positive mindset, and that's what you're. And this is like the focus. What you're focusing on is what you achieve and what you get.
Yeah.
If you're focusing on the whole world sucks, like I never achieve anything, I know
Yeah.
I can't do anything, then that's probably like what you're
That's
gonna
what you're
get
getting.
because
Yeah.
you're not striving. You're not like you
Exactly,
got to get
yeah.
out there and want like
Yeah.
and again that might be a
You
privileged
get what you
sort
give,
of
man.
because it's like there's like starving kids in Africa, let's say.
Yeah, of
that
course.
I'm
They can't
sure
just
they're,
go out and get it.
And
they
they
positively
think
they can
po-
positively
yes.
think about whatever, but they're not just gonna get those things, right? It's not
Yes.
just gonna appear.
Yeah.
Um,
But you know what I mean, man? Maybe there's like the odd kid making the most of what he has, though.
yeah, no,
You know
that's
what I
and that
mean?
is like there's
And
kids,
that's-
man, and that's true. That
right?
is true. Like that, and
But
that's
like
the
not
thing. Like
saying that that's not.
you make
but
the best
that's
of what
the
you
power
have.
Of the mind
But if
is.
you're a positive thinker and you want to achieve something, you make the best of what you have.
Yeah.
Because I've seen not to harp on this, but like there's like those kids in Africa that don't have a lot,
whole lot.
and they've like he was so fucking intelligent, man. Like he had
Yeah.
made this like clock radio and like made all this like cool
Wild.
shit out of just like scraps that he'd gone and like collected and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
soldered them together and like literally, man, like he
Insane.
created a bunch of
Man.
cool shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like this guy, like if he lived in a rich country, he would
have-
be changing the fucking
oh,
world
Right.
right
dude, to
now.
be in like Harvard
And-
and shit.
Yeah.
like,
yeah, that's it, man.
And
And
it's
it
so
just
true
sucks,
though, man,
like,
because they
that
even
the
say
world
that.
is
They
like
say
that.
they say like how like what if that like poor kid or whatever had the brain that was gonna like find the cure for cancer. Sorry, I'm not. What if you know what I mean? Like that kid who's like poor and everybody like shuns out or whatever.
Yeah.
From like those types of communities or whatever, and they're just being like shunned or whatever. But maybe that dude has the fucking thing
Answers.
to yeah, you know, and like so like his
Right?
family
Or, like-
can't pay for him to go to school, and maybe he's really good at school, but like he can't get there or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So like, well, I mean, at that point, if you're really good at school, there's probably some kind of sort of scholarship. But point is like, yeah, they talk about
You know,
that, and
like
like
the
maybe these certain
opportunities
people
and
have
stuff,
this
yeah.
shit, or like people like I think it also there's a whole bunch of different topics that I've seen people like use that same defense or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like even say like what do you call it, like immigrants and stuff, or like maybe that's a dirty term, but like foreign people like coming here,
Right.
people are like.
That's the word, immigrants.
Okay, yeah.
I'm an
I just-
immigrant. I
I just felt like
legit.
I just felt like that was a dirty word. You know?
Because you're kind
Damn
of labeling
immigrants.
people,
Yeah.
I suppose, but no,
Or, yeah,
you know,
okay, yeah. But
people
like so,
from out of country.
like I said, I've heard people use that same argument on many different topics, and one of them is like, say, like I said, like immigrants is people be like, oh, fuck them, whatever, you
Right,
know,
of
like blah blah
course,
blah,
they're
go to your
taking our
country and
jobs,
shit
yada,
or whatever.
yada, yada.
But what if like some fucking, let's just say like Turkish fucking dude or whatever, you know, like someone
Yeah.
from some other country moves here and has a kid, and or maybe moves away and doesn't want to have a kid here, but like has a kid, and then like they're like shunned into some fucking shittiness, and that fucking kid, had he gone done this shit, like sorry, gone to school and
course,
stuff, I'm being
yeah,
very
yeah.
vague, gone to school and all this, he would have been the doctor that did whatever,
yeah,
fucking maybe saved the people that were ragging on his dad
Right.
or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
man, absolutely.
and it's like, I'm not saying like go and fucking give away money to people or
Yeah.
whatever, like here's fucking money or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's just that
don't
like at the same time too, for you to have these, sorry,
Well, man, it's almost like almost what you're in a way. It's like not exactly what's going on in the world right now, but as for like the one world, we're all the same. You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't
is
be
awesome.
there shouldn't be people in the world that have to actually like really struggle to even have an opportunity to walk through
Man,
a door. such
yeah.
as
Well,
what
and
There's
that's
they
a good
are.
way-
so
that's a
much
good way to say
wealth
it, too.
on this
Yeah.
planet. It sucks. It's fucking by design.
Yeah.
It
But-
has to be.
Right.
We live in 2020,
Yeah.
and there's trillions of dollars
Yeah.
circulating around this planet, and there's still people living in an abject poverty
Yeah.
and fucking that can't make ends meet. I think that's fucking disgusting,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we
but-
need to change some shit.
but now
That's
at the same
my
time
rant.
with the kid, but at the same
Church.
time with the kid and the like school shit,
Yeah.
is like even in the sense of like, you know how I was saying like, oh yeah, if you are that good at school and all this shit, like obviously you're going to get some kind of like scholarship, you don't need your own money or whatever, right? But at the same time, maybe that kid doesn't get or doesn't doesn't have the drive to do that in school and
Right.
get to that point, right? But like it starts
Wow.
back here with like have like I guess educating kids, really. I guess that's, you know what I mean?
Step one, man.
Because
True, man.
education.
Because
And
like I
that's
said,
what
you
Joe
have some
Rogan
kid.
and fucking Kevin Hart talk about, man.
They're the future, man. Yeah, the true
inform
way,
the
yeah.
youth. Do not hold information back.
Because like I said, you have
Pass
these
it
kids.
on.
You have this kid that, let's say in scenario A, he's what do you call it? Like a privileged kid or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And his parents pay his way, and he gets to go to school and whatever, and he's
Exactly,
a doctor or
which
whatever.
is the-
But he's a lazy doctor or whatever, right?
Which
but
is
then
probably because of how easy he had it his whole fucking life.
yeah, but then you have
Legit.
now you have like, I think I actually just made another scenario, but
No.
now you have scenario B where the kid grows up in a good home and like whatever, blah 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 blah, blah, but has to earn his own way. And
Exactly.
and
Knows what
and
a
in
bit
the
of
end
hard
of
work
school,
does.
he's like done so well for himself that he gets his scholarship or whatever, right? But now then you have option C where this kid has been in a shitty scenario, or maybe not even, whatever, just something happened or whatever,
Right.
and he doesn't have that drive, right? So or maybe it doesn't even have to
Or
be
have a
something
bit
that
of a
happened to them, but
doesn't
just
have
he doesn't
direction or
have the
something,
direction.
right?
Yeah, he doesn't know what he wants to be because he doesn't know what it takes to, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like tell the fucking kid.
Or he was affected
So-
by this.
So
too
it
much
starts
to-
with like, yeah, it starts with back there with all that type of shit. I don't even know how the fuck we got on this, but
Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure,
But
yo,
yeah,
man.
but that's the thing is, I guess what I'm saying is it starts back there. You got to kind of like get them to that point to
Absolutely.
whatever.
I gotta
So
take,
I guess what I'm saying is, because you said there's trillions of
Mark me
dollars
down
floating
for that.
around, trillions of dollars floating around. I guess what I was trying to say with all that is that, like, I'm not saying like fucking give money to these kids or like fucking.
No,
pay their way
I'm
or
just saying
anything,
like there's
but
like
get
there's
them to.
this is why I'm like saying it's by design, because there should be no like human ingenuity is like knows no bounds. Like if we really wanted to, we could have done this by now. Like most people want the best for everyone. Most people want the best for everyone, but it's like the small few that seem to like the successful psychopaths that seem to fucking make it to the top of everything that divide us. And this is exactly what's going on right now with like, and like I get the movement that's going on, but it's so divisive. It's so like it puts people in groups, and I'm for that movement. I'm for it. I'm so for everything that's going on, but we need to start seeing each other as like a singular fucking human race and not like just dividing all the differences. And I don't even know how I got to that, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good. But the other thing too is that gone. The fuck were we talking about? It doesn't even matter now.
See, I'm high now, so I can't. My memory's gone.
Where the fuck did we go there? I was talking about. Oh yeah. Okay. So I had to throw an extra K in there just so that we weren't bad. But so you. I didn't knowingly do that.
That's
I don't
funny.
even know. But anyway, oh shit, I lost it again. Here we go. Okay.
Don't do it again.
All right.
Yes.
You know what's funny is I was going to use an example of like you were saying it's designed that way, and I was going to say, well, yeah, of course, fucking
Has to be.
George Bush's fucking son went to Yale. I think it was Yale or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like obviously the fucking higher up dude's fucking kid, like the rich fucking runs the country dude, like kid went to the big school and
they
shit,
get all
right?
the connections, they get all
exactly,
the
yeah.
just, like,
but you know what's even funnier is I was gonna use that example to help, like I guess whatever. I was gonna use that example for your like as an analogy, I guess, or whatever. But I just realized I forgot to write down the most important birthday.
And what's that?
George H.W. Bush.
Is that senior?
That's senior. Today he died. 2018 though. Not today he died. Sorry, today's his birthday, but he died in 2018. Yeah. I didn't look that up, which I should have. I also should have looked up Anne Frank's death date too, because both of those people are dead, and that would be a normal thing that someone would do, but I did not do that. If you know what I'm saying. Oh, I forgot to mention.
Talking about killing somebody?
Yeah.
No.
I forgot to mention that it's George Bush Sr.'s birthday today.
Anne Frank died February 1945, just to clarify on that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know the
45?
exact. Yeah, 1945.
Yeah,
Are you
she's
talking
like
about
she's
Anne
like
Frank?
yeah, she's like 1929 or something. She was born or some shit. Yeah, you know Anne Frank. You know, there's a rapper named
45?
Zan Frank, and he's
What, with
got
an X?
He's got a rapper. He's got a tattoo of Anne Frank on his face, like a big one on his cheek.
Do I forget the story of Anne Frank? Like I thought she survived.
Oh, she survived, but she died in. Or no, wait,
45 is the
45.
end
That's
of the
wait a
war.
second. Sorry, yeah,
That's
actually.
the end of the war.
Okay, maybe yeah.
did-
Oh no, because they found her diary. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You tripped me out for a sec. I was like, yeah, it said 45, and I'm like, oh, wait a sec. No,
Yeah.
that's the war. Fuck.
That's
Yeah.
the
So there might be more to the story other than just that they found her diary, but I know that like that's.
She survived. Right?
I don't think so. That she only would have been 16 years old,
Yeah.
if that.
Why do I?
No, she
it's
would have
a
been
minute, I
15.
guess.
15, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I just realized, like, wait, today's her
Okay,
birthday. Because I was
okay.
thinking, I'm like, I know when she died. When's her birthday? Oh, you idiot.
Yeah. Well,
That's
no,
what you're
there might be a
researching.
few people being like, "You idiot."
Oh, so yeah, we're all fucking idiots. You know what? Actually, there's a thing. I probably shouldn't even say this because apparently a Russian person has to like tell you to say this or something. Someone told me that they say some word Gastrovia or something, or I don't know. Now I forget it, but either way, they say something and they cheers, and I think it means something along the lines like we're all dumb or like we're all idiots or whatever, or like, you know, like we're all dumb together or something like that. But like I said, someone told me that like you have to like be told to say it or something, or like I don't know. I may have just fucking started
Nastrovia?
a war. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So,
What does it mean?
Meaning
Does it just mean cheers?
let's get drunk, it's what it says.
Oh, okay.
here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like off, but
we're all in. Same thing.
yeah, we're all dumb together or something. But yeah, at the same time, chances are we were cheersing and I was drunk when this happened. So I either misunderstood.
Nostrovia, yeah, is the English
It's an N?
pronunciation. Yeah, Nostrovia.
Nostrovia. Well,
Is the
boys.
English pronunciation of the Russian word.
Oh, I guess I can't say that.
It's like Nezdrovia, like Nazdrovi,
Nastrovia.
like Nazdor.
Let's get this. Oh, you know what? Let's
Nostrovia.
Nastrovi.
There you go.
Wait a
That's,
minute.
I hope we're doing that right.
Think I can do this? Oh,
Oh,
boys.
absolutely.
Cheers.
4G audio, baby.
That's us.
But we didn't say Nostrovia.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shit.
Nastrovi.
You know what? In Ireland, they say Salancha.
Salancha?
Yeah.
Man, I just think
I think it's spelled Slanty, like SLANTE.
honestly, if I could like spend a week to, no, it'd probably have to be more than just a week to actually like, feel a
Feel kind of
culture.
heavy off that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like a
Nice.
little like.
But you know what I mean? Like spend time in certain areas and like learn, a bit of the language.
For
and,
sure.
What they do and stuff.
Well, man, I wanna-
That'd be really cool.
I want to fucking start this business. Of course, it would take a lot of fucking money. You'd have to invest a lot of money and time into it first. So I probably should have started this whenever I was like 14. But you fucking, and I don't know, I can't remember if Buddy gave me this idea or if he just told me when I told him the idea that he would totally fucking invest in it. And I would have to like let him come on tour with me. But
Yeah.
go and fucking visit all these places like you're saying, learn shit about it, like go on the tours and like learn some of the language and stuff and whatever, learn the ways about it, like how my brother went to Chernobyl and shit.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I was
know,
thinking
like,
about that
he
actually.
went
When
by
Pay all this
himself,
shit, yeah, and
too.
like so you gotta like bring American money to
Crazy.
pay the fucking people and shit and whatever. So I mean, if you knew all these things and then knew the language or some of it or whatever, and you were there and you're familiar with people there and shit like that, like made some friends or whatever, then you could charge people to like take you there or for you to take them there.
yeah.
So-
It's like
so
a
then-
tour guide.
Yeah, exactly. So that, but instead of you going there and meeting some fucking Russian dude that like can't really relay anything to you or whatever, you know what I mean? They probably are English speaking and whatever. I'm just being probably dumb, but point is that, and then also at the same time, it'd probably be people that I know or whatever, right? So it'd be like, pay me fucking, it would be like an extra $1,000 or something, right? For everything. Like you just show up with your clothes and like, that's it. I got your ticket, fucking everything,
They
right?
just take care of you.
Yeah.
You just
And then I'll
Along
take
for the
you to all
ride.
the places and we get to go around. We'll go to this bar. My buddy owns the bar here and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, go here and shit, right? And then basically everyone's fucking extra little bit pays for my trip and their own trip or whatever. But then that way my trip's free. I get to go on this trip again. I get to go to Cuba again or whatever, right? But then I'm showing everyone around. It's like, hey man, yeah, you want some weed, man? Fuck Gus over here.
Yeah.
Greatest weed, man. Like, yeah. And Buddy was like, yeah, like I said, he either gave me this idea or he told me that he would invest in it and wanted me to like do it.
Yeah.
start that shit up, man.
But seriously, man,
Just
that'd
not in Cuba.
be no, yeah, I just,
No.
I'm not allowed in Cuba.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I was there with Average Zach one time. Shout out Average Zach. And we looked hard for weed, man, and yeah, it didn't happen. We were sold cigars, but not that stuff.
Jonesy, can you guess what?
What's up?
I got a message from our girl, Misha.
Oh shit!
Oh, we can
not
do that.
in the house,
Unfortunately,
but we can play her new song.
Hey,
Yeah.
fucking right.
Bop, 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 bop.
All right,
So this is Alpha Barbie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alpha Barbie. This shit just dropped last night at midnight. Fucking, I was very fortunate to be one of the very first few people to listen to it. I think I might have been like the 6th person to like it.
nice.
Yeah, I'm fucking so cool.
The 6th person.
Yeah.
I literally just liked it with the 4G account when I opened it up, and it's number 6. So
Oh, okay. Maybe, maybe
technically,
then,
you're right.
okay. Yeah, true. Then maybe it was 5. Maybe I didn't even like it, but I remembered seeing 5. I don't know if that was before or after I clicked, but
But anyways, this is Misha.
Well, I just gave really bad clout to that song.
Alpha Barbie.
Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm such a douchebag. There's a bunch of good parts in this song that I love this shit. This threw me off because I was like, it's kind of like a movie. This is weird.
Sounds like a good opening
But then the
song
part
for a
pops
live
up
show.
on there and it shows like restricted and stuff like it's a movie.
Y'all acting hardly, but you mean I'm the motherfucking
For Barbie.
Y'all acting hardly, but you mean I'm the motherfucking
Alpha Barbie.
Canvas Versace, got
It's hard.
And that's hard as fuck, man.
Y'all acting hardly, but you mean I'm the motherfucking
Alpha Barbie.
Dripping on Fiji and Voss. Turn off the fast. We want your legs crossed. Don't wear too much glass. You're looking too posh. Flex on them, then I just hear them. They scoff. Told them they had to be ready. I'm wearing my teddy. In this operation, you need to be steady. Nightmare on my Freddy. I'm making them sweaty. They running a fever degree steady. Heavy. Trying to tell me to live. Then did everything in my power to give. While they trying to tell me to chill. Stand at attention, I'm calling the drill. Ice on my wrist, there's a glitch in the matrix. A red pill or blue pill, I'm keeping it blatant. I'm hitting the pavement, cemented for greatness. Cause this is my name, you'll see me on the A-list. Tipping the scale, but I'm still underrated. The day that I stops the day I'm in the grave. And I know they'll outweigh this, but go check my statements. Not just the accounts, but the ones advocated. No longer faded, these lumens ain't wasted. The blunt down, my green's more regulated. That drink in my cup, you can bet that it's tasteless. I'm sipping on agua and you cannot chase this. Y'all acting hardly, what you mean? I'm the motherfucking Alpha Barbie.
I fucking love it.
Yeah,
What you mean?
good.
I'm the motherfucking Alpha Barbie. Canvas Versace, got plays Lombardi. Peel off in the whip, no Bravo Charlie. Y'all acting hardly, what you mean? I'm the motherfucking Alpha Barbie. Go ahead, go ahead. Shawty over there, go ahead. Green light, go ahead. Shawty over there, go ahead. Better get your bands up. Tell me why you stand up. They're trying to shut us down with the let me put my hand up. Let me get my bags up. Racking all these stacks up. Don't care how you starting, but we about to throw them backs up. Go ahead, shawty, yeah, go ahead. Let me count this out on my new bedspread. They see you doing well, then they wanna break bread. Cause you the type to turn heads. Go ahead, shawty, yeah, go ahead. Let me count this out on my new bedspread. They see you doing well, then they wanna break bread. Cause you the type to turn heads. Where's the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies. We a whole damn army, ain't cheese Tavardi. We this town, jungle safari. Bitter Campari, don't need no sorry. This is what we do when we check somebody. Where's the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies. Y'all acting hardly, what you mean? I'm the motherfucking Alpha Barbie. Y'all acting hardly, what you mean? I'm the motherfucking Alpha Barbie. Canvas Versace, got
It
plays
goes hard.
Lombardi. Peel off in the whip, no Bravo Charlie. Y'all acting hardly, what you mean? I'm the motherfucking Alpha Barbie. Go ahead. Shawty over there, go ahead. Green light, go ahead. Shawty over there, go ahead. Go ahead, go
Oh
ahead.
man.
Shawty over there, go ahead. Green light, go ahead. Shawty over there, go ahead. Canvas Versace, got plays Lombardi. Where's the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies. Canvas Versace, got plays Lombardi. Where's the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies.
Got plays Lombardi.
Got plays Lombardi. Where's the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies. Canvas Versace, got plays Lombardi. Where's the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies.
Yeah.
Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies.
Nice.
Was the after party? Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies. Was the after party?
Nice.
Just me and my crew, we the Alpha Barbies.
That's a good outro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Shit's fire though.
Alpha Barbie, Misha.
Yeah. Has a few good bars in there, man. For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Man, there's
That
one
was
in her
fire.
fucking. I tried to remember it for tonight, but in that song that you were talking about earlier, I'm bad with song names, man.
Ooh, what was I talking about
That's
earlier? What
Get It
song?
or something? Or
Oh, Set It Off.
Set It Off. Oh, yeah.
What
Oh,
about it?
yeah. She's got a song. She's got a line in it. I'm pretty sure it's that song. She's like, oh, fuck. I forget. It's something about like pasta. Like, she's like, Oh, she's talking about like noodles and shit, and like I don't know. She just names a bunch of noodles or some shit, but it's like she's like something about some spaghetti or something. Like, anyway, I forget. I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of it.
Go listen to the song.
But listen to the song. It's fuck. I literally like repeated it a few times. I kept going back. I'm like skip back a couple times, skip back a couple times. I'm like trying to remember it and shit. I'm like that's hilarious. It's just like I don't know, and I like her flow on it. It's like
oh yeah, for sure. It goes hard, man.
That does, man. I'm like, that's
went hard
for
but
sure.
yeah, like
That's
I
a
said, at
dope
first
song.
though, that sound is. I'm like, it sounds like a movie or something. I'm like,
In the
it's
beginning,
kind of like I'm like, it's kind of weird, and then it comes up her like comes
Yeah.
across the screen, and then it shows like Alpha Barbie, and then it shows underneath like restricted, blah 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 blah, blah. Like as if it was a movie, and I'm like, oh, that's why. I'm like, oh fuck.
I feel like, man, I actually like that. That felt like the beginning of a live show to me, like the
True.
intro.
Yeah. Well, actually, now that you say that,
drag that beginning out for a bit longer, you know, and then let
now
it
that you
drop
say
in.
that, that's her like first single. I don't know if it's a single, but that's her first like song from the new album.
Right.
So
Cool.
actually, it's the name of the album too. I think so.
Alpha Barbie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But point is that it is almost like, you know what I mean? Like you would release like your fucking banger
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then put out the album. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, get down on that. There's 8 of them, I think, in each one.
You're answering my question.
But yeah, let me know how it goes.
Okay, well, no, like how much in each?
Oh, so then 250 divided by 8 is.
Oh, okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it each?
25.
Is it each or total? You know. So it's total.
It's like 31
Yeah.
something, I think. Someone do the math real quick. Send it in. Actually, it would be like, so like 12.5 cents is an eighth of a dollar. So an eighth of 50 would be 6.25. So 25 plus 6.25 would be 31.25. So 31 something. That was damn fucking accurate.
And he showed his work too.
Yeah. Fuck. Too bad I couldn't do that in high school. Shit. But yeah, you know what? Actually, man, we haven't mentioned this, and this is not a fucking sponsorship, paid sponsorship. But we were drinking this Pink Whitney, and
Oh, nice.
it's pretty good. You know what? I was just thinking too, like a few minutes ago, that
It's
I was
too
like,
easy to drink.
well,
and
I
it
was
will
thinking,
get
I'm
too
really
far.
sipping on
Another
mine.
one.
I put like a little extra in, but I'm like
Yeah.
really sipping on mine. But I was thinking that it's a lot of sugar
Yeah,
because the
it is.
shit tastes like sugar already.
it does.
So what I was thinking was
my
putting
face keeps sweating,
putting
man,
fucking,
you know, like a little bit.
putting soda water in it.
Yeah.
Like either just soda water, so it'd be like a White Claw where it's like just a little flavor,
Mm.
or put soda water like half soda water, and then like half like vodka and
Man, it's got
lemonade.
cane sugar in it.
Oh, so that's like
Yeah,
a
bro.
natural sugar
Yeah,
too, right? It's just not like
exactly.
a sweetener or like
Yeah,
some
and
sort of
that's-
So what is
processed
the
sugar.
White Claws?
And it's got citric acid in it, obviously.
Huh.
Potassium citrate.
I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
Potassium is a type of sugar, though. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a type of
Potassium
sugar.
will give you energy.
That's how
though.
like
It's
they'll
bananas.
they'll attach drugs, certain drugs to sodium, or that's why like MDMA and stuff tastes like really salty.
Oh yeah.
Because it's attached to sodium. So then or like apparently like GHB is like really salty,
Oh. fuck,
and
yeah.
because it's attached to salt. But then like sodium or potassium, sometimes they'll attach it to potassium. Is it a sugar?
Sugary stuff.
I'm looking at. I'm just
Oh no,
saying-
I know. I saw you looking. though.
Yeah,
is
I'm
it?
like, I'm gonna check it out.
Did you get it yet?
Low levels of potassium with high levels of insulin and glucose are both traits doctors associate with diabetes. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I guess the body it affects blood sugar.
Which
That
does
just
potassium
makes-
does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Power of potassium.
That makes no sense.
Well, yeah,
I
you
literally-
don't know
yeah.
it is. If a diabetic is low on blood sugar, a banana is a super helpful thing. I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
I learned that from Honey Who Shrunk the Kids.
I did, bro. I
What?
fucking did, man.
What?
Yo,
Fill me in. I've
absolutely,
seen
man. That's
this.
legit, man. And it's
I've
not
seen that
Honey
movie
I
too
Shrunk
many
the
times.
Kids. It's Honey I Shrunk Ourselves.
Is that the one?
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I knew it was
seen
one of
that
those.
movie
Yeah,
then, so
man,
okay, all
'cause
right.
it's where the kids are they're the adults are too small. Right?
Oh,
And the
that's
kids are
right.
big, they
Yes,
have the
you're
party,
correct. And they're
he's-
floating in the Cheerios
Yeah,
and shit.
man.
Oh shit! I've never seen that one, man.
Oh,
I've seen
shit.
like up to Honey I Blew Up the Kid or whatever.
Oh well, that was the last one they did.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think, anyways.
Well, because the reason why I wanted to know, I'm like, which one? Because I was like,
The
man, I've
baby
seen them
one,
all, man. I'm like,
I've
what the
seen
fuck?
them
Yeah.
all, yeah.
No,
The baby-
no.
shit,
got the
man.
candy in his pocket and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
hilarious.
Yo, that was a great call out, Jonesy. Shit, man.
Yeah. Fuck. I didn't. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't see that one. So yeah.
It's true fact though.
But I was like, man, I'm sure I would have seen that, but like seen it in the other one.
yeah.
So that's why I was like,
That's
what
the one,
fuck,
you know,
man?
like the famous scene in that one's
I
the
keep
Hot
fucking
Wheel
this up.
track, man, where the parents ride in the car on the Hot Wheel
Oh.
track. Oh yeah.
Man, it's been a minute. It makes me want to watch that
and then
movie.
They, like,
That's
float
been
in
a
the
minute.
bubbles and shit too. Oh, dude, yeah.
I'm gonna look for that one this weekend.
yeah.
Fucking right.
Fuck, eh?
Yeah.
What did I watch recently? Something fun. Oh man, I watched. Oh, it's probably not something we should talk about really, but it's called Dear White People. We won't get much into it, but it's like there's like this girl.
Yeah.
Um,
That's on Netflix. I think
Yeah,
I may
yeah.
have seen that.
it's like
on
I think
there, but
5 or
I
6
haven't watched
episodes or
it.
something. And you know what's funny is I kind of like just like it started. I looked at the like information and it just started playing. I'm like, ah, fuck it. I'm like, I'll watch it,
Yeah.
and I sat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's this black girl and she has a radio show called Dear White People,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But no, it was actually pretty good. I watched
Yeah.
it. It was pretty cool. Whenever it ends, it kind of leaves it in a weird spot, especially because I feel like it's not like a multiple season thing.
Oh,
Like, I think
right.
that's the end of it. Like
Yeah,
you're supposed
yeah,
to
that
learn
should be
something.
it.
Usually when there's like it drops off and there's a point to be had, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the point of this? I'm like the one that's lost, right? So
Yeah.
maybe there's more to it. I have like thought of some theories of like what they're trying to say at this point. But it's actually a pretty cool show. It was like I said, I got like, what do you call it? Like,
invested a little.
yeah,
bit.
like I just turned on. Oh, that's cool. I
I
just
see.
looked to see the information. It started playing. I'm like, fuck it,
yeah.
and I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, man.
So, but either way, watch it. It was pretty good. Just because we were talking about movies, I'm like, what
Yeah,
the fuck did
yeah,
I watch
no, for
lately? It's
sure.
not a movie, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I did start to watch that Epstein documentary a little bit.
Oh,
but
fuck.
It's a like,
There's no coming back from that.
yeah.
Yeah, legit. That's true. That
Yeah.
fucking yeah. I don't even think I actually got to the last episode.
I heard-
only
I heard
watched
that
the
everyone who
first
watches
two,
it
but-
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
With
like that
Hillary
one.
Clinton
It's like that
herself.
movie. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, Epstein said that. He told me that last night.
Yeah. I bet.
I legit that man.
Have you
I
seen
honest-
the thing?
I honestly don't think he
Someone
died.
bought all of Epstein's property.
I don't know.
Someone
I
Oh,
honest-
someone
bought-
did.
he was probably him.
Did you see the picture of the guy?
I don't know.
It looks like Osama bin fucking Epstein.
Oh my.
Osama bin
Someone
See that-
might have made this picture and it might be a fucking like joke and I might be the one that got fucking
Oh
had
my
jokes
God,
on me.
man.
But it showed a thing and it said fucking someone bought all of his property, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then it shows the guy and it looks like Epstein with like a big beard and
Big
like he
beard.
doesn't have like a thing on his
Man,
head or anything, but he's
right.
like
I
he's
legit so
that
like there was
kinda rude.
I'm honestly
No,
I honestly think that so like when you're that's I it's not far fetched to think that
He's with Tupac.
Some of the billion, yeah.
some way
Some of the
exactly.
some of the $1 billion ain't killing themselves.
yeah,
you know?
no, for sure. But I don't think he died at all. I think
Yeah,
they
absolutely,
replaced him
yeah.
with some like cadaver or someone they just fucking oh that guy looks like kind of like Epstein. Let's
Yeah.
fucking murder him.
Yeah.
Put him in the jail cell. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think he's dead.
Fuck, I think there's someone at the door.
Hey?
I think there's someone at the door. It's
No,
Hillary
no.
Clinton.
Fucking we're getting raided.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We're sorry.
The helicopters are here. Yeah. We love all you Basement Weirdo fans.
Yeah, fucking right. Trip said some shit. Jones going off right now.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sorry,
right.
I'm just
Yeah.
catching up. That was a long time
Sorry,
ago.
yeah, I should have mentioned it, but we were right into convo. And I was trying to get back to people once I noticed, as you could probably
You
tell.
see the thing Freddie Fame posted today? He's
I
like,
did not.
No.
he's like, what to do if the cops show up at tomorrow's show? And then in big letters at the bottom it says run. I'm like, I didn't know there was a show, but I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not, but still awesome. Shout out
is-
to Freddie Fame too. He put me on. He didn't like put me on. That's a fairly strong term, but he invited me to perform at a show of his, which was a showcase of talent.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's
man.
what I was getting
Big
at.
shout out
Twas a
to Freddie
blast.
I said he put me on, but like that's fucking little much.
Yeah.
I'm not on anything.
You're on the 4G Audio podcast right
I
now.
was just about to say that.
I guess Jonesy put me on.
That's funny. Oh man.
Yeah, seriously, you were saying shout out to all the basement weirdos, and I was like, look at the comments from last year. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I actually saw some guy give a speech. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and shit, and I saw a guy give a speech to his fans and stuff, and I'm not like about to give you that same speech or any like real big speech, but it just made me realize that like we have to like we don't have to, but like I do really appreciate everyone, because without you guys we wouldn't like I wouldn't
Without you guys we're just talking to ourselves.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Absolutely, man.
and like fucking doesn't matter if it's 1 million, but everyone counts.
That's it, man. We appreciate one.
Fucking right.
You know, man.
Because and that's for all of you
Cheers
out
for
there.
everyone.
Do it. Yeah.
Because seriously, no, like I said, he gave this speech, and like they all give speeches. They all say, "Oh yeah, thanks," and like, "Oh, it's you," and everyone gives some kind of speech. But this guy gave like a fucking, he was like almost crying or some shit.
You're right.
But I was like, man, I'm like, it's true. Like
That's it, man.
that's-
Straight from the heart.
yeah. Actually, you know what? It might have been. I could be wrong, but I think it was Steve Will Do It when he gives his mom a Range Rover. He gives her a Louis Vuitton purse. She opens the box, pulls out the Louis Vuitton purse, and in the Louis Vuitton purse is a Rolex box.
Holy shit.
And she pulls that out, and then he's like, "Here's your other present." Oh no, sorry. He doesn't even say that. He goes, "Okay, you want to give everyone a tour of the house?" Because he's doing a video, right? So give everyone a tour of the house. So she's like, "What? We already did that." He's like, "Oh no, like the guest house." And he's like, "Just finish it off or whatever." So they like go in or whatever, and then they go to the garage, and she's like, "Oh yeah, there's nothing in here." And she's like, "What?" And there's a Range Rover in there with a bow on it. And then he gives her the thing, and like I guess whenever you buy a Range Rover, there's like, it's like a box, and like you open it up. And so like there's a first little flap on it, and then there's a piece of paper in there that you write some shit on,
Yeah.
and then like you open up the box, and then there's like 2 keys in
The
it,
keys,
like,
yeah.
in the foam,
That's
and
cool.
and on the paper he wrote fucking like no
Fucking
I think he said something like enjoy your new car, bitch. Now go heat me up some chicken parm.
Oh shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it was even funnier too because she was making dinner and he interrupted her to go like give the rest of the tour of the house.
Really?
So I was like, go make me some chicken parm. Fuck. It's funny because I'm sitting there watching these people like do it and they're like laughing and stuff. I'm like, oh, thanks for the car and stuff. And I'm sitting there like almost in tears. Well, no, I'm lying. I was fucking crying. But but I'm sitting there like, oh my God, like, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and he wrote like such a sweet thing in there. Like, not really, but that's him, right?
Yeah.
So like that's awesome. You know what I mean?
For
like he
sure,
didn't
yeah,
say
yeah.
something that someone else would have said to their mother. He said what he would say to his mother.
Yeah.
And like to him that means I love you or whatever, you know?
Everything,
Like
exactly.
Go
But no-
make me some chicken bar.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think it was that video because I think he was saying that I wouldn't be able to give my mom this car if I didn't have you guys and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, either way, regardless of the whole scenario, this is about you guys. But yeah, thank you.
And
cheers.
that would, cheers. Cheers
to
to
you
all.
guys. Cheers to you guys.
Clinky.
Here's to the
Everybody having
4G
this beer?
fans, basement weirdos.
Mm-hmm. Fucking right. But yeah, no, it's definitely can't take that shit for granted, man. Can't take anything
right,
for granted.
For real. Let's see.
Waving your arms around.
Yeah.
Can't take that
Well,
shit for
speaking
granted.
of that, thanks like Thomas
Love life
Edison
for
and
what
shit
it
too.
is.
Was it Thomas Edison? Whoever made the fucking electricity.
Well, actually, Nikolai Tesla.
Yeah. Thomas Edison.
Yeah, fucking Thomas Edison, man.
Yeah.
Nikolai Tesla.
Did you know he actually had like 16 no. So he had a bunch of patents that were like he was making a radio. He was trying to make a radio.
Mm-hmm.
Who, Tesla or?
Tesla, yeah. And some other dude beat him. Forget his name. I used to know his name. But it's some other dude beat him. And he made the radio. And he made the radio with, it was like 16 out of 17 patents that he used to make this radio were Tesla's.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
so that
like-
would have been after the fact, right? So with Jonesy and I were talking about this the other day. So
No, I don't think it was, no, he like beat him to it. Like he
Well, the thing with Tesla was
like,
like
stole it from him or something.
he was
Marconi? Is that the guy?
Maybe.
So what happened was Tesla had these ideas, right? And he was working on them. But what
Just
happened?
who invented the radio?
Well,
I'm just saying. Just ask who invented the radio.
I'm pretty sure
It is.
Yeah. So Tesla invented the radio, not Marconi.
What?
Well, that's what I'm reading here. So a patent battle between Tesla and Marconi went on for years. Marconi died in 1937. Tesla died in 1943. 6 months after that, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Marconi's radio patent were invalid and awarded the patents for radio to Tesla.
The patent for the radio or the patents? Just because, okay, wait. Because, okay, yeah. But like, so... Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Well, no,
I'm learning this at the same time as you.
Yeah. No. Well, just because I'm trying to think of how they would have said it, because they said the guy used 17 patents and 16 of them were Teslas. So like maybe after the fact they were like, wow, fuck, it was fucking his patent. So like he invented it, right?
So we were talking about this not long ago,
right? So Tesla invented like wireless electricity.
Man, he was getting power from the ground and shit, man.
Yeah, right. And like, so I think it was Edison that killed the elephant to prove that, like, to try and persuade everyone that Tesla's technology was like harmful and it couldn't be trusted.
That's right.
And also that JP Morgan was looking to fund like either Tesla or Edison. And as soon as Tesla decided that he wanted to give people free energy, and like you said, he could get energy right from the ground, right? And he wanted to give that technology to everybody.
Yeah.
And as soon as JP Morgan was like, well, we can't put a meter on that, we can't charge for that, so I can't make profit off of that, so I'm not going to fund you. So he went to Edison and gave him all of his funding so Edison could do, like, again, put on shows, kill an elephant, fucking, you know, persuade the public that his technology was to be trusted and to be used. And here we are, however many years later, paying for fucking electricity every month, when we could be potentially, if history was different, I don't know the truth, but maybe if it was different, we could be all not doing that and I'll be insanely, you know, free of a system that forces us into perpetual fucking debt and working long ass hours to pay for electricity that we don't need to. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
But yeah, no, not that we were saying you were wrong at all. But yeah,
I was.
No, sorry. But yeah, like once you started saying that, I was like, that's very similar to just the general. I don't know for sure myself either, right? I instantly was like, oh yeah, that sounds like that when they tried to get everyone to go against Tesla and took his shit from him. You know what I mean? His ideas.
He died penniless.
Basically, what you were saying, right? He had 16 out of 17. Patents or whatever. This guy, it kind of sounds like exactly that. Like,
artists don't get to know shit. Or don't get noticed until they die.
That's right.
Man,
like legends.
Biggie, right?
Ain't
nobody till somebody kills you.
Ain't nobody till somebody kills you. Ain't that the fucking?
Fun. Oh, I'd be down.
What is that? What kind is that?
Oh, it's
that looks like a Monopoly card.
It is, yeah. It's penny bags.
That's awesome.
Penny bags extracts. It says title weed.
Show that to the camera.
North Carolina Nebula. Strain is Nebula. Type is sativa. It says 77.12% THC and 0.79% CBD. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram. You have to be 19, and there's a gram in here.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Penny bags.
This one? Boom.
Can they be sued for that logo?
Yeah, it's got like weed inside.
Oh, I see. It's different. It's slightly different.
Like this one, he's like got red eyes. The fucking cat.
Yummy.
So yeah, I'll do a fucking dab.
I'm down.
It's Ferda, you know.
AA. Ferda. For the 4G boys.
Well, speaking of that, is there a fucking season 9 out yet, or for Letterkenny?
I don't know, actually.
Sorry,
There must be, though.
You would probably know better than anyone, actually.
Than all of us, but
I just pinched my finger in the headphones.
yeah, I'd imagine there would be. I haven't heard anything about that show ending yet, so it's coming. I actually just I watched a few, let it play through all the way. There's probably a couple episodes I have to go back to, but Trailer Park Boys, the animated series.
Oh, I heard the last season's pretty good.
It's not bad, man. It's not bad. So like at the end of the last like live action that they did, I think it was season 11. They all ate like a bunch of mushrooms, right? And ended up going to jail. And when they were in the cell, they all turned cartoon,
Oh, okay.
right? Animated. And then next thing you know, a year later, the animated series started.
That's
It was
awesome.
actually pretty cool. Yeah, they did it well. Yeah.
That's on Netflix now?
Yeah, they're on Netflix now. But if you're, oh man, the first, it was the first 7 seasons yeah, 7 seasons are like the OG Trailer Park Boys, and they were on Showcase, and that's where like the true like comedy Trailer Park Boys lies right there. It like that's just cutting to the chase.
The quintessential
Yeah,
Canadian.
like that.
fucking-
Those 7 seasons, man, especially 4 and 5, on fucking like just the funniest shit ever, man. I love all of it.
2 things I want to say. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit the fucking
Fuck Trailer
red
Park
button.
Boys. What am I talking about?
But the other thing is that we talked about this shatter and shit, but we got this from our sponsor at Greengrass Oasis. I fucking know I say it a lot, but it's so that you fucking remember. I'm sorry I swore at you. We're still friends, I hope. But yeah, so we're about to get down on this, and I'll tell you what it's all about.
That was great.
Fucking right. Tastes pretty good.
Nice.
North Carolina Nebula. It's a sativa. Sativa.
I know that's
It's
not
most-
like us, but I actually got 2 sativas for weed because,
Oh yeah.
like I said, I couldn't feel like I couldn't spend enough money.
Right. Yeah.
Or I mean,
Well,
like
might
I
as well
couldn't. I don't know.
change it
Like not
up.
that I spent any money. I just couldn't fill the.
You might as well get the
fucking-
full
I
spectrum,
couldn't
right?
fill the credit. Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, get it all. That last one, I think the first one we smoked was either indica or hybrid, and the Tom Ford is indica, I believe. That shit, man. The first time I smoked a joint out of it the other day, I fucking took a joint of it and I fucking smoked it, and like I was like, man, this tastes really good. Yeah, whatever. And then I was like, oh man, my fucking hands are high, man. Like I was like high,
yeah?
man. Like well, I shouldn't say it like that. Like I was just like stoned, but
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
I
fucking
know what you
right.
mean. Yeah.
But it's really nice. Yeah. You want to do a dab or what?
I'll do one. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
what's
Let's
up?
get it.
Just gotta fucking
Where's the other 23%?
what's the other? Oh, that's
Indica, obviously. Right.
what?
Sorry.
Oh no, that's the THC level.
Yeah. It says. Yeah.
The other
CBD.
percent
So
is
where's the other
I
percent?
don't know. I guess butane.
Yeah.
No, it'd be like plant fats.
Yeah. Okay.
Or something like terpenes and stuff.
Terpenes.
I'm kind of just making that up as I go, but
No, I get what you're saying. Not much to it other than that.
oh wait, sorry, something like that. Or you want a big one?
No, that's good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try it like that. Says really smooth stuff.
Yeah, I
mean,
found it
like,
pretty
you're
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
as soon as
I'll give
fucking-
it a test with that, anyways. Putting it in already. I've never done it like this.
Well, cold start, bro.
I like that. A little
Alright.
hot wire, and we're good to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking right. You can heat it up again too if you want. If it starts to kind of go dead. Oh, that was stuck right to the table. Yeah, no, it's actually fucking it tastes pretty good. And it
That is pretty smooth, actually.
yeah, I feel pretty good. You can heat it up again.
Oh.
Oh yeah, man. But yeah, man, they gave us all kinds of shit. Like these gummies, I've never tried them. Which one did you eat?
I ate the green apple.
Oh, nice. You want any of these?
I'm good on that.
You sure? Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
pretty
for now.
light. They're pretty light. Like 30, what it we ate.
30.
Well, fuck!
31.
Don't twist my arm or anything.
I want one of
Sorry.
these. I just wanted to try a green apple. I figured you guys are a better judge on the
Here.
edibles. I'm gonna throw it because I have to eat a lot of edibles. So I want to try that tea though. I figured that'd be like fire. I should have got a couple teas. Cup of tea.
Man, maybe next week we'll like. Oh man, maybe next week we'll like just drink some tea.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We'll like review it.
true that. Make a pot of tea.
Those are pretty tasty.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah, they're good.
these ones are orange. They're probably good too. What did we smoke? Yeah, the pink Wi-Fi. That was pretty fire.
Oh man.
Dink Wi-Fi.
Pink Wi-Fi
It's
Ferda.
pretty, smooth for sure.
I don't know. Should we get into another one or what? Has it been?
Another what?
How long has it
No,
been?
another what? Yo, you know what, man?
It's the
Just
tea?
say, hey, yo, Sarzo, I'm sorry, but fuck it.
We can. Oh no.
No, that isn't it.
You guys want to
No,
get
I'm
into
joking.
that?
No, goddamn, not now.
Don't fucking
Yeah.
get me with a good time. Where the fuck is it? One of these is there's Mojito. Mojito. This was actually, I think, I can't remember. One of them was like a pick from Kayla herself, the young lady that is I believe she's like a manager of some sort, but she like
The one
deals
that-
with us now. Yeah.
Were we there when she was in both
No,
her
this is
areas?
no. She was like, she said, she was like, oh, I'm glad I was here to like meet you guys and stuff. Well, like me.
Oh, she deals with.
She
me
deals
now
with us now.
instead of
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah. Oh, he was there too and shit, but she was like, she's like, I'm gonna be like helping you out and shit.
Okay, cool.
She like came out of the back just to talk to me. No, well, she did, but
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I know what you mean.
I'm playing it up. What was the? Where
Oh,
was the
shit.
other one? Was there another bag of weed?
Right.
Well, I mean, I know there is, but is it close by? Do you see it? It might have fallen down.
If anything, it's right here or fell down.
No,
Like,
fell
yeah.
down. Oh well, that just means there's enough of it to go around. But what else you guys got going on?
Well, you know what? Actually,
I had some stories
Because,
too, but I
yeah.
fucking forget, man.
well, you know what, man? Actually, so about a year ago around this time, I kind of like fucked up a story, and I might make up for it right now.
Nice, let's do
So
it.
in 2 days from now, it's my little girl's first birthday, and I remember whenever I made it in for the podcast, you kind of like put it on me to tell the story, and I was just like exhausted, and
I do remember that.
I was
night.
pretty monotone. I kind of like scrubbed up the intro and telling a story. So very quickly, I will say happy birthday to my little angel, because, you know, I'd rather say it now than next Friday after it has happened. But so yeah, the story was, I'll tell this the proper way. The Raptors had just won the championship, and about half an hour after turning off the TV from watching all the celebration and whatnot, Danielle tells me she has to take a pee or whatever, and she goes to take a pee. She comes back, she's like, I'm pretty sure it's not a pee, and my water just broke. I'm like, no. You know, I was so scared, so in denial, you know, whatever. And like, no, it isn't. Anyways, it was. Long story short, hour and a half actually after we signed into the hospital, my little angel was born. Section, because she wasn't responding or whatever. It was like a quick like response thing. I don't know, I just let the doctor
That's crazy, actually. Happened.
Yeah, for sure. It was a bit of a shock, but like, I just like put all my trust in the doctor, right? Like they knew what they were doing, so I didn't both of us actually like didn't over worry. But I think that all of that happened because both her and I don't think we're like fully ready to go through all of that. You know what I mean? Like a labor pregnancy. I think we were both pretty like worried for that, and I think she responded to that inside. It's definitely a thing. It's all a thing like that, I believe, anyways, myself. But anyways, she was delivered, and yeah, man, she's the happiest little girl.
That's awesome, man.
And yeah, so happy birthday to
Happy birthday to you.
hell yeah.
Fucking right, yeah. She was fucking kind of tired tonight.
She was tired tonight, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what, 2 days?
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday?
June
So the
14th, yeah.
Swag gang. That's
Yeah. Early in the morning, though, it was like, I think it was about 1 a.m. we signed into
it
the
really?
hospital. And 2:30, she was born in my arms.
That's
I
why.
watched her open her eyes, man, for the first time. And that's the coolest thing. It's like...
Did you get to hold her first?
Yeah.
Me too. Well, like,
Yeah.
not her, but like,
Yeah. So yeah, just eyes all glossy
Yeah.
over and everything, and you can see them trying to open it, and then eventually you see them peeking, and then at some point they just get them open all the way, and that's a moment.
No
I
doubt.
And
wish
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even just you saying that now, I'm thinking back, like holding my son and stuff like that, and then I think about him now. The kid
Yeah,
is
man, no
huge,
doubt, dude.
man. Well, I was
Oh,
trying to say huge, but he's like big. Like he's
shit.
like you know what I mean. Like he's not like this little. Like I can't hold the kid and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Shit.
It's just crazy because
Yeah.
man, honestly, fuck. You'll
It
blink
is,
and it'll
man.
yeah. You'll be
That's-
like, what?
I believe, man. Honestly.
You couldn't walk before?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, my little girl's about to walk, and
Oh, I know.
honestly, man.
Last time she was holding the counter, I didn't even notice at first she was holding the table until she walked to the other end of the table, and I was talking to Danielle.
Yeah.
And then I looked down and I realized oh fuck, she's well
She's
on her way.
Yeah,
Fuck.
man. And this year's been the fastest year of my life. I could say that about every year of my life, but now that
It just keeps
the
going, eh?
And
now
last
that the
year was
child's here,
crazy fast, man.
Oh.
And I found 2019 went by insane. I
Yeah.
always find myself oh shit, it's June already, or oh, it's
that's
this month
it,
already.
man. Yeah,
But,
yeah, I find that with
in
work. so bad. I'm
2019
man, it's fucking June now. Or,
In 2019, it was it literally it's a fucking blur, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, legit, bro. I believe that. I was even thinking that at work,
Still,
last
this year's
couple
going
days.
quick too, man. 6 months,
we're almost in July, man.
I
We're
know.
halfway through this shit already, and it's been a shit year. It's gone by pretty fucking fast.
I'm going by quick.
Oh,
Yeah, like you say,
absolutely,
it's
man.
was it
fucking-
this New Year's that we went to fucking the whiskey bar?
No, that was last, man. Because actually, to continue with the story, this New Year's, it was the first time my little girl was sick or whatever, and it was the first time I napped with her. I guess it wasn't, it was during the night we slept, but we ended up putting her back into bed or whatever, right? But yeah, that's how I spent this New Year. It was a great way to ring in the new year.
No doubt.
And then shit got shit after that. Everything went downhill after
Fuck,
that.
man, I don't even remember New Year's.
This year you were in Brampton,
Oh, Sarnia.
Sarnia.
I think, that's right. Yeah.
There was nothing
Yeah.
there was nothing really happening here. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And I came with all the
I think
fucking New Year's shit. I actually got a hat right here.
I might be meant Oh yeah. We did a little episode actually. Well, no, we
but-
did a Christmas episode. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
But
with the homie average Zach.
yeah, man, it's funny because I got no pictures in the night because it was just I don't know, we were just having fun and shit. But I was drinking Hennessy and Veuve Clicquot champagne.
Yeah.
It came in a nice little. Oh man, Where the fuck is that?
What, the one I gave you or the other
No,
one?
man, I had a fucking thing. Anyways, I have this thing. It's like I don't know, but it's like a jacket for your champagne bottle.
Oh, okay.
Keeps it cool or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So you'd take it out of the fridge or whatever and put it in that. Fuck, that was cool. It had a handle on it and shit to like pour it.
At
fuck
first,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about like that bottle that.
Oh, that
Yeah,
no, I
that
finished
shit.
that at the camp actually not long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I
Damn,
went there one
nice.
time with it and I had some of it,
Yeah.
and then I left. There was like probably 2 drinks in it, and I left it for the next time. My
That's
buddy's like, "You
actually
better
cool.
drink that before he pours it," because my buddy just pours all the empty booze or like leftover booze into one bottle,
Oh,
and it's just like a mystery
really?
game. And so
I
I was
have a
like, "He's
homie
like, you better
that
drink
used to
that
do
before."
that in high school. Called it. Oh man.
But no, so
Yeah.
actually, just real quick though, so I was like, man, I'm like fucking everybody left. I think like it was like there's no one there or some shit. Yeah, everyone like
Yeah.
went home, and I was sitting there and I'm like, fuck, I got no pictures of the night. So I fucking put my hat on and my glasses and shit, and I got a picture of me holding the 2 bottles. But it was like when everyone's like going to bed.
Yeah. That's
Shit.
hilarious.
But yeah, that shit happens, man.
Damn right it
This
does.
shit's pretty good though, man. I would fucking.
Yo, I
mean,
this
like,
shit's dangerous.
Yeah, I
On
had
a
it-
nice hot summer day.
I
you
had
know?
picked up a bunch of bottles the other day to bring and shit, and forgot them. So I got.
How many are you sitting on total? So I know you have one in the car still, and
And I got 2 in the car,
2 in the car.
and I have 4 at home. But
You know, just a
I
little
mean-
supply.
it was an accident, kind of. I bought 4 because I figured if they're gonna be out everywhere all the time, and I have to drive that far, it's not that far. But if I have to go and get,
Where
And
was it? Where did you get it again?
it's a fucking secret, bro.
Okay, yeah. Keep it a secret. 'Cause
I will tell you
obviously- no, yeah,
afterwards,
don't-
though.
Yeah.
But even earlier, I tried to not slip up and tell you, but the chick even said, man, I'm gonna say this real quick too. She like, I got chips and stuff, and she like put that in the bag, and she's like, it'll be our little secret. And she puts the chips in the bag. I'm like, oh, she didn't charge me for the chips, sweet. And then I looked at the total. I'm like, no, she charged me for the chips. And I'm like, then what's our little secret?
Yeah, right.
And
I'd be
then
like,
whenever-
take the chips back.
Yeah, and then whenever I went to leave, I'm like, all right, yeah, see you later, yeah. And she's like, remember, it's a secret. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. And now I figure she meant about the Pink Whitney, like don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was there and people were calling to ask if they had it.
right.
And like the next town over, I called them and they were like, the chick laughed at me when I asked her, and she's like, I should just start answering the phone like we don't have any Pink Whitney, and then fucking see what they want.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, seriously, I'm like, you getting that many calls? She's like, yeah. She's like, you might want to try this store or whatever, like another town over. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. And sure enough, they had it. But whenever I went there, the chick said that they like, her boss, like, they have like a special warehouse or so. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, not that her boss has a special warehouse, but I guess they order it from a different warehouse than most people do or something like that.
yeah.
So they're able to get lots at a time or something. But like, man, I was in the store today. I went into this liquor store. I waited in the lineup in this liquor store in the city. Was like, fuck it. I don't have the bottles. I was excited to have the bottles. I don't want to go back and like pick them up and shit. So like, I'll just like sit on them. Like, I don't fuck care, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't need to drink them. And I don't drink a lot anyway, so it's not like I fucking. But either way, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, I'll pick these up. But I'm like, I'm going into this liquor store, waiting in this lineup to maybe like 80% chance not getting this shit.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, like that's probably like it's probably a good like
chance,
yeah,
yeah.
like I would probably say like even maybe like 85 or more. But still, it's like, yeah, I'm like, I'm not getting this shit, but maybe we'll see. Either way, I'll get some White Claws while I'm here. So I go in, I'm like, no, nothing in the vodka center. And I'm like, hey, this lady, I'm like, can you help me? I'm like, I'm looking for cases of White Claw and Pink Whitney. And she's like, oh, the Pink Whitney's at the front. And there were 6 cases sitting there on the one side of the counter, and then on the other side of the counter there was 2, and then there was like one that was like on the counter, like all out, the bottles were out. And I took 3. I watched people come up. People were asking me where I got them. I put mine down. People were trying to take mine and shit. Like, It like I watched 3 cases disappear, man. Like legit 3 cases, because after I watched them all disappear, the lady came and took the boxes away. People were still taking them. People were taking them from the other side of the counter. So just from that one spot, I saw 3 cases, which is 36 bottles. Boom, like that. Like I was in there for I might have stood there for 10 minutes because they had to. I don't know what the fuck was up. They had to I don't know, maybe they called the cops on me or something. But they had to go and they're like, I asked them where the White Claws were. I saw where the White Claws were, but I wanted a case of them. And I did see that there was one case there after the lady had pointed them out. I'm like, oh, there is a case there. She's like, oh, don't worry, I'll get it. And then they were like, we got to wait for this person. I'm like, okay. So she's like, just wait here. Okay. Yeah. So when this lady comes up, she's like, oh, have you been helped yet? I'm like, yeah. She's like, but you're getting the cases, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'll go get them. She's like, we have to do this thing, and the boss is coming, and we got to go in the back and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it seems like they're stalling me for some reason, just wait here, the cops are coming, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then the lady comes up to me again. The second lady comes up to me again. She's like, oh no, yeah. So she comes up to me again. She's like, hey, and she's with this guy, and she's like, hey, did you get them? And I'm like, no. Or I was like, yeah, they're right there. But I'm like, because they put them up front and showed me them. But I'm like, I'm supposed to wait for some guy to do something. I don't know. And she goes, oh, that's this guy. And then he's like, yeah, you can have him. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so what? I needed his blessing. He came over and blessed them. Like, yeah. But and then I even got pushed into the line too, because I'm like, oh, do I have to go back in the lineup? And she's like, no. And just put me right there, oh, you're scanning these and shit. Yeah. But it was, I don't even know what I'm talking about. That. Oh yeah, they get the Pink Whitney. But they had it, and I'm pretty sure that if you go there tomorrow, they probably won't have it.
Oh, easily.
It was that crazy. There was people buying it that didn't even know what the fuck it was.
I've never seen something go that quickly.
Man, an old guy picked it. And the one lady made a joke. She's like, oh, it's like the new Lysol. This one old lad picked it up, and he goes and he puts it on the thing with all his other stuff. He had bottles of wine and shit and whatever. And he looked like an old, prim and proper dude, but he picks up this bottle and he puts it down. And then I hear Buddy and him talking, and the guy at the counter is like, oh, it's like pink lemonade and vodka or whatever, right? And he's like, oh, cool, yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm like, that guy doesn't even know what the fuck it is. Some lady's like, oh yeah, she takes 2. She's like, my friend told me about this. And
man, I wonder what kind of fucking marketing campaign got it that
Barstool.
Yeah,
that's what it was,
bro. Yeah, and it's an retired NHL player.
Oh, is he? I thought,
Ryan Whitney.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I think you might have told me that already.
Yeah, Ryan Whitney, man.
Pink Whitney. I didn't know. I thought he was. I just thought he was so
Barstool
reporter.
has a podcast that's called Spittin' Chicklets.
Yeah,
and that's what Ryan Whitney does, and that's.
Oh, okay, so that's where it gained its popularity, right? Everyone's talking about it, and okay, that's cool.
So I knew that, but I knew all that, but I didn't know he was. I thought he was just like a newscaster, not newscaster, but a sports guy or whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was an actual.
Edmonton Oilers, I believe, for a good while.
Nice.
Yeah. So Canadian. I don't know if he's.
So he'd be a little bit older then, if he's retired.
Yeah.
What's New Amsterdam though? That's
that part I don't get. Yeah.
Because there is a place called New Amsterdam. I think it's oh, I fucking don't know, but there is a place called New Amsterdam. No, USA? I don't think so. I think it's in the States. I was gonna say New Amsterdam, New York, but I can't remember. But there's a New Amsterdam somewhere.
Okay.
I think it's northeastern.
Why don't I just Google
states?
That?
Yeah. I even picture. Now that I think about it, I picture Amish people.
Yeah, Manhattan. I said that weird.
Manhattan.
That's So that makes sense. Maybe he played for. Maybe I was wrong. He played for the Rangers as well. Maybe.
Okay.
Or I'm right, and he's just in New York now. You know what I mean?
True.
I'm pretty sure he did play for the Oilers.
The true train.
Yeah.
True. Oh shit, man! Remember when I was just gonna ask if I could smoke a cigarette down here, and that's why I'm saying this. But remember when? I think I brought this up last time too. But remember when? I guess 2 things. Remember when that dude had a smoke over there on the couch?
Yeah.
No one know. Well. At
For a
one point,
little
I
bit.
noticed,
Yeah.
but I figured that because I saw you guys whispering to each other at one point, so I figured it was cleared or something. I'm like, weird, he's letting him smoke. But then remember the time we were sitting after, I think it was after the podcast, and we were sitting here, and I fucking lit up a cigarette. I smoked the whole fucking thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I lit a cigarette and I smoked the whole thing before I even noticed or before anyone noticed. I went like this and put it out. And either whenever I put it out, you noticed, or whenever I put it out, I made like some kind of like, oh shit. And we were all like, oh shit. I'm like, man, I smoked that whole fucking cigarette. It's because I was holding it in my hand because I was going to go outside. I was holding it in my hand
And
talking.
you just lit it.
And I just ended up
I don't
being
even
like, oh
remember
yeah. And I lit it and I smoked the whole. Maybe I didn't say anything then. But no, I remember I
that's
fucking
hilarious.
smoked the whole thing sitting here.
That's hilarious. Yeah, usually like this place is so fucking filled with like pot smoke at the
Smoke,
time. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can't even tell the difference. But like,
Sometimes, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty used to it myself, but like, you know, everyone reacts to things differently, I suppose. I know a lot of people that are picky with cigarette smoke
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know, man. It's the thing, man. Like, so like whenever I have a drink, I want to smoke a cigarette. And then like whenever I have a lot of drinks, I want to smoke a pack of cigarettes.
I don't
And,
even know
like-
how, man. I just get so sick.
sick.
But
yeah,
like, man, yeah, but here's the thing. If I woke up on like a fucking Tuesday morning and smoked a cigarette, it would ruin the first half of the day.
Oh,
It would
I
fucking
bet.
ruin it. I would
Mine
hate
too.
it. It would give me like I would go to work
Yeah.
sometimes and I'd be like, you know, like fucking doing hard work and shit, building houses and shit. And I'd be like, fuck, like I want to have a cigarette. Like this is where I'd normally like sit down and have a cigarette and a drink of water real quick.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey buddy, give me a cigarette. I'd take it and I'd light it up. I'd take 3 puffs just to get it going. One, second one, oh yeah. Tastes like shit, but that felt good. Third one, oh yeah. Does it ever taste like shit? But oh man, it feels good here. Fourth one, oh man,
Feels sick.
oh this sucks. I don't want to throw this away because I just bummed it off of him, and I don't want to waste it. But I do not want the rest
Had
of the
to
cigarette.
puke. I'm
And,
almost
like,
getting
just- but-
spins thinking
And,
about
Man,
yeah, I was
that's
gonna
what
say,
made
I
me-
almost put myself right
I
there.
fucking smoked my first cigarette and puked everywhere, and I never did it again. I'm
Oh,
But
glad.
then,
man.
but then the thing is, like, I smell cigarettes off me. I'm like grossed out. Like fucking, yeah, especially if you're like in a fucking. I remember my one buddy. He smoked cigarettes for a short period of time, but he would drive in his car and smoke cigarettes with the windows up, and I would like roll my window down, and he would roll the window up, and like it would be like basically like a
Like hot boxing.
silent argument where I would like roll it down and he'd roll it up, and I'm like, all right, I'll just leave it, you know. And like so, I find like it doesn't even have to be like that. It's indoors, you know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like the air gets thick, you know. And then the thing is the smell and shit. So like, I fucking don't like cigarettes, but yeah, I'm like, I fucking have a drink. Like right now, I'm like, I want to have a cigarette, you know. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've had like a drink or whatever, and I'm like, I want to have a cigarette. The first time was like. Well, not the first time, but like I quit smoking cigarettes because it was making me feel shitty. I was starting to think that I had like cancer, and whenever I smoked, it was like activating the cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no,
course,
sorry, that was a very
I
bad
mean,
like
no,
description,
well,
but
You're
I just
definitely
felt like
heightened
that
the risk
shit
of
happens,
it.
man. Like,
so I was like, yeah, man, and I just like I fucking just stopped. I was like, that's gross. I
Yeah.
can't do it anymore. But then, oh, where am I going with this? Oh yeah. So then I was fucking. Oh, anyway, so then I remember I was sitting at a patio or something. And I took a sip of it. I literally like picked up the beer for the first time and took a sip out of it and put it down and was like, do you have a smoke? And they're like, yeah, let's go for a smoke. And we went outside, like, or went out beyond the thing and had a smoke. And I was like, for some reason, when I drink, I have to smoke. So anytime that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to have drinks, I'm like, buy a pack of smoke. Because I don't want to be the dude that's can I have a fucking smoke? Can I have a smoke? You don't even smoke while I'm drunk.
yeah, that's
Sounds like you want to smoke.
Well, but I hate but I hate it. Like I don't like I said, I shouldn't even say I hate it. It hates me. I smoke a cigarette on a normal fucking afternoon, and I'm not drinking or anything. Fucking hate it. Like it makes me feel shitty. Like I remember before I'd get up. I work nights or like evenings or whatever, and so I would get up. And I would like go for a tour and smoke a doob and like get some food and shit. Maybe go home, watch TV for a bit and like kind of chill. And then I'd go to my buddy's house. He lived right near my work. And we would smoke weed there. And I usually wouldn't smoke cigarettes until later in the day anyways. So I would go to his house and like either I'd end up smoking a popper or I'd smoke a cigarette after I smoked like a couple joints during the day. And I would either smoke a cigarette or smoke a popper, which is tobacco in the fucking weed or whatever, right? And in the bong. And it would just make me feel like this. Like I would just be tired and shit. Like it would just all of a sudden like, oh, I want to go back to bed.
Yeah.
And it was just the weirdest fucking thing.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, like at one point, like I fucking loved. I smoked a pack a day. You know what I mean? But like, but that was only for a short period of time. I smoked for like probably 10 years or something like that. Just like I'd smoke a pack of cigarettes in like 3 days. I'd probably smoke like 2 or 3 in a week, maybe 3 if I was like drinking on that weekend or something like that.
It's gross.
But that's not even, man. I know people that smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, man. And that's like I'm doing like 3 in a week, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
2 a day is
But man, it's
fucking
crazy, man.
ridiculous,
Fuck, I heard about an old lady that did it when she was pregnant. Well, she's old now, but she wasn't then. But
Crazy.
But anyways, but point is that I barely smoked. Like people would be like, as soon as they're done eating, they want to have a cigarette. I'm like, that's gross. I would have to wait a while and then smoke a joint to give me an appetite to want to have a cigarette. And so I was like, no, that's fucked. Like
Takes
people
me a
wake
good
up and they're
5
like,
to 10 years to want to see.
people are like not even out of bed and they fucking smoke a cigarette. And I'm like, no, man, I can't do that shit. And so I like was not really like a smoker. Like I would just smoke here and there. But I always had a pack of cigarettes or whatever, right? So I mean, I consider myself a smoker. But anyways, point is that then I fucking quit. I quit for 3 months, and I go to my buddy's house every Sunday. One Sunday, I asked him for a smoke, and he's like, "I have 1 cigarette left." He's like, "Well, share it, and this is it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So then we went fucking 3 months. He started smoking again, but I went 3 months, and we would visit every Sunday, and I'd be like, "This is this week, this is this week, 6 weeks, whatever," right?
Yeah.
So then something happened. Oh, that was whenever me and my ex broke up or whatever. And I was at work and shit. And my buddy used to always bug me. He'd be like, oh, like, because whenever he stopped to have a smoke, we'd all have to like stop and chill out. So he'd stop and have a smoke. And fucking, he'd be like, oh, come on. Like, we're all doing it. Like, come on. Like, oh, here, have a smoke, man. Oh, you want one?
Yeah.
And like, it was like, I laughed about it. Like, it was funny. But anyways, he always bugged me, and I didn't care. I was glad I didn't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
But then one day, man, I was stressed right the fuck out. And he's like, yeah, here you go, man. Fucking have a smoke. I'm like, yeah. I sat down, man, and I smoked 3 fucking cigarettes in one sitting. And from that day until like a couple of years ago or whatever, whenever I did actually like stop smoking except for drinking, I fucking smoked like any chance I had. Like I was like still have food in my mouth. I'm smoking a cigarette. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I wake up and I'm like, let's smoke cigarettes. Like it was just on for a couple of years. But it was like, it was weird. It was just like I quit for 3 months when I didn't even really smoke a whole lot anyways. And then all of a sudden it was just like, like fucking let's smoke them all. And then it was weird. Yeah. And then like I said, all of a sudden, man, I just fell off and was like, feels weird. I don't like this.
You're like, yeah, no doubt.
My mouth tastes like shit.
Yeah, man, honestly, like I remember the first time I smoked a cigarette, and I think we were smoking a bunch of joints beforehand, and this is when I first started smoking weed too, and I had like a cotton mouth, like I was like dry mouth as fuck.
Yeah.
But I was with a bunch of people who were also smoking cigarettes, and like I'm like, oh, can I like whatever? I never, so I'm fucking smoking on the cigarette or whatever, right? And then I'm like, I feel really gross. I go in and I chug a bunch of fucking, because I'm all cotton mouth and feeling gross. I'm like, oh, I need a drink. So I drunk. The only thing that's there, we're all drinking, and the only thing that's there is mix. So I'm like, whatever, can of Coke, whatever. Chug like half this can of Coke at once. And then a few minutes later, I'm literally like puking everywhere. It's all this like fizzy Coke. I'm just puking back up. Like it's gross.
Probably even heard.
But I like every no, I'm good actually on that. Thanks though. But now every time like after that, I even looked at it, like smelled a cigarette. It just made me think about that, and I just like I'm like nope.
Yeah, man.
Can't do it.
You ever
Staying away.
You ever tried chew? Well, I think
I was just thinking about that. I want to try so bad. I almost bought it the other day
Don't.
whenever I was in the reserve. Man, I want it so bad, man. I want to try it so bad.
You do you, bro. But
It's so appealing, man. I don't know what the fuck. Like, I mean, it's not and it is. I just see fucking, I guess, whatever. Milk Boys. Man, product placement, bro. I came out of the liquor store with a grocery store with a grocery cart out of the liquor store with 48 White Claws. Because they drink that on Milk Boys.
Yeah.
And $6.
And 3 fucking pink Pink Whitney because it's fucking popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know
Well, I
what,
got
man?
one for Gino because he fucking he's a big supporter. He helps me out a lot.
course, yeah.
Well, he helps us all
Big
out a
shout
lot.
out to Gino.
But you know what's it's so fucked up, man. It's the opposite situation. He lives so deep into the city that he cannot access Pink Whitney anywhere because everyone's like waiting
Scooping
to
it up.
get it.
Yeah.
And so it's the opposite. It's like some people live so far out in the bush that you just like can't get certain things.
Yeah.
It's like you go to the store in Douglas, you're like Douglas is like a really small
They don't
town.
get any of
You're
that
not
there.
getting like
Yeah.
certain shit, you know what I
Right.
mean? But now it's like the opposite. It's like fucking he's so far in, and like where I got this shit, like I got this shit well, these bottles I got in Canada, but the bottles that I got the other day I got far out in the bush. So you know what I mean? It's like the bass backwards fucking shit. But no, so I bought a bottle for him too because like I said, he's holding it down.
Holding it down.
Yeah, and he
man,
can't get
for
it.
sure.
So
Yeah.
so weird, man. It's so weird. You live like right down in the city and you
It's
can't
true,
get
though.
that. Like but it's
I bet.
that's just the way it is, I guess. You
Yeah.
know
So
what I mean?
you're heading down there this weekend?
Yeah.
That's how much he's
Wanna
doing.
see
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
That's right.
Yeah. Fucking
Shout out Gino. But yeah, but
I won't
just, you
ruin
know
it,
what?
but there might be some shit going down. What?
Just fucking put a big old chaw, you know,
I'm
fucking
doing it.
side to
I watched
side.
some dude, man.
And you know what, man? You'll just probably end up puking your brains
Oh, for
out,
sure,
and you'll
man.
never do it again, and you'll learn your lesson. So.
I saw some dude, man.
Oh,
I'll put like
it's-
a couple little flags. But I saw this dude, man.
it's-
I saw this dude. It was on. Well, no, boys. This dude, he fucking took it for the first time,
Yeah.
and well, I took it for the first time. He like put it in for the first time, and like, man, at one point, like, he's like, yeah, man, like I don't feel good and shit. And then he
Oh,
like goes
dude,
and like
just,
lays
like,
in the beach sand and shit.
All the
And then at
time.
one point, he's like getting up, but he's like on the knees and he's just kind of rocking back and forth, but he's like not there.
Yeah.
And he
But
was.
I've been-
Oh, okay.
I've-
Sorry, this is bad.
I've been there.
Yeah, this is bad, but he was a black dude. But you could see
Okay,
like
yeah.
you could see that he was like pale. You know what I mean? You could see his whole
right.
body like
clammy.
he like
was clammy.
yeah, like and fucking.
I know. I've been there.
And I was like, man, this dude's like puking some shit hard. And then they had to like help him into the house and shit. So I was like, okay, maybe not. But at the same time, too, like he took like enough that it was like a mess
but
in
you
his
know what
mouth.
he
Like I want to
did?
take enough to like pinch it and be like,
That's a safe bet, man. That's how I did too. Like would start like that, but you know what? He probably swallowed some. If you swallow any of it, man.
man, one of my buddies
You're gonna have a
man,
bad time.
one of my buddies
It makes you
to get out of
so
school,
nauseous.
to get out of school, my buddy took a cigarette, the filter off a cigarette, and ate the fucking cigarette.
That's gross.
Fucking
so
puked his guts
gross,
out
yeah.
and shit. And he was like, man, he's like, I got the day off school, but he's like,
Yeah.
he's like,
It's
I would have rather go to school, man. He's like, that was the worst thing ever. And then he did it again. He took two of them. To try and quit smoking.
Yeah.
He's like, but like, he's like,
I
I
wanna
think
stop it.
like I can quit, like, you know, whatever. Took two of them. Worst ever. And like, I mean, I wasn't there, but he said like,
Sick.
no, like, do not.
So man, like
fucking
you
do it.
know, like yeah, you remember like smoking cigarette and like the head rush you get
Yeah.
or whatever. Just multiply it by 5 or 10,
Oh,
bro.
it's worse.
It's man. I was at a party chewing on some chalk.
Maybe I'll do it on the podcast.
Yeah,
Just
man.
keep a bucket here.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely keep a bucket.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's no. I wouldn't. I
If
guess I
you
wouldn't do
get-
that.
So the worst part of it though, man, is like what you were saying about that one lad there.
Oh man.
Super clammy. You get super nauseous before you even get sick. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
I remember being at a party one time, man. I ended up out by the barn, but like I spent a lot of time in the party, like rocking out, drinking.
But like the one
doing
dude
it.
packing
Then-
fat hogs, bro.
Oh, well, so like some, you know, so you build a tolerance, but also like can't like
Easy
can't
does it.
swallow a spit. man.
Yeah,
I'm
true,
telling you,
yeah.
you'll get it makes you reject it. Oh, I remember one time, average Zach and I, man, at my place had 2 bathrooms in my house. This was the last time I ever did it too. Both of
Wait,
us.
last time you've done it more than once?
Oh, I did it a few times, bud.
Woo, nice.
Oh, yeah,
You
and
puked every
puked
time or
off
what?
it. No, probably almost every time.
No, so I shouldn't do it
and
ever
I did
then.
it. I did it a few fucking times too, man. Like a handful.
I just want like a little piece just
I
to be
take
like
a
I
little-
did it.
I've
like,
done a little and survived, obviously, but there would be a couple times where I'd like, you know, like
I work
a little
my way up.
pincher. Yeah, that's what.
Man, Jesse was telling me he used to do
Jess
like
used to
sometimes
do,
he'd get like
fucking corner to corner, but
he got like fucking half a fucking can in his mouth and shit
yeah,
like
that's
that.
a
Like
corner to corner right
Yeah.
there. That's what they call it.
Oh,
Or something like
fuck.
fucking
like $10
end-to-end
a chew in your mouth at once.
gross,
Like,
buddy.
oh.
He'd look like this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, see, Jesse from Nelk Boys, man. I always bring that up, I guess.
Oh, you're
But
talking about
But
other
Jesse from Nelk
but-
Boys. Well, no. I was talking about Jesse
okay,
Nadobny.
yeah,
You got me
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. But Jesse from the Nelk Boys, he's like, he always packs pretty big ones. Like you
Yeah.
see him fucking like pulling out
If you're
big ones and
drinking
shit.
too, man, like, oh
But
my god, it's
he's
fucking
always got
just
the fucking-
unbearable.
The lip out, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever. And then like the cup to spin in and shit. And I think that's the most fucked up part is like you got to carry your cup around and like spin in it. Like
Yeah.
I think like if I was like outside somewhere or
Just
whatever.
spit on the
And
ground.
like I would do it and just spit on the ground or
Yeah.
whatever. At the same time too, I mean maybe it's not something I like really want to even get into in the first place because it fucks up your face and
But
shit.
man, you know,
But
yeah.
I want to
that's it
try. I
too,
just want
yeah.
to try it to be like
Try
I
it, man.
did it. You know what
Try
I mean?
it,
Because
bro,
well,
yeah.
because actually Nadobny was the one that got me. Well, not that got he wasn't doing it when I hung out with him, but he would always talk about how he used to do it and shit.
Yeah.
Pack chaws the size of Texas, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, Call of Duty,
Yeah,
Tim
he was
Hortons,
into
and chaws the
hard-
size of
he was
Texas.
into harder, man.
But yeah, so he always talked about it. A few other people would talk about it and shit. I'm like, man, I want to fucking try it. It's like the smelling salt. I just want to be like, that's what it smells
Yeah.
like. Okay. I found one at a guy's house, and the funny thing is, I took a picture of it and I sent it to my buddy the next day, and he's like, "So did you try it?" Because I told him I wanted to try it, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I'm like, I'm such an idiot, man.
Oh fuck, that's funny.
You know, like how they like wake you up or whatever with them.
Yeah, totally.
I
Yeah.
just want to see what it smells like. It probably smells not
I
good.
kind
but,
of
like,
agree with that too, man. Just because I've seen, you know, like NHL players do it and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever
Well, yeah, and they
sports,
do
you
it to
know,
wake themselves up
Yeah,
on the
just,
bench or
like,
whatever
yeah,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what, but yeah, I've always kind of wanted to, you know, like what's
Yeah.
that
Man,
all
you know what
about,
I
like,
did the other weekend was I fucking sniffed some sounds really
Careful
bad.
now,
Snuff.
Yeah.
Snuff. It's like powdered tobacco basically, and you like sniff the shit.
That's
It was like
fucking
menthol,
weird,
man.
though.
It was like sniffing a halls, bro. It was so weird. But it was like it's supposed to like give you a buzz and shit. And like so I like put a bit on my hand. I'm like that, and he's like, yeah. So I did it, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And other buddy did it, and he turns around and goes, fuck. He's like, does that ever wake you up? I'm like, it didn't do
That's
anything.
the
Like the only
stuff.
reason I'm awake is because my nose hurts and shit. I'm like,
yeah.
the fuck, and it's like my eyes watering because it, like I said, it's like halls, man. Like you like
Yeah,
drink some
that's
Buckley's or
wild.
some shit, or like you put
I
like
hate that
some like what's that vapor rub or some shit like
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
nose or whatever.
Vicks and shit.
Fucking burns your eyes and shit.
Yeah.
It was like that, man. But it's because I was just like.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fuck. I wanted, but that's another thing. I want to do it because I'm in a situation where the guy pulls it out, and he's got one like brand new package of this shit, and like I've never even seen it ever in my life.
Yeah.
It's from Europe, like Amsterdam and shit. And so I'm like, yes, I want to try it because like
yeah.
again, I don't care if I fucking puke on the fucking ground and shit. I want to see what happens.
You're
So
right.
then I know, like, right, like, I mean, I guess that's a bad attitude. Like, be
Well-
out here fucking shooting heroin and shit. I just want to see what happens, bro.
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck yeah, drinking fucking aluminum cleaner. Man, I just watched a
What?
thing. Actually, that was a good segue, but I just watched a fucking thing. Steve-O talking about all the drugs he did, and he breaks them all down and shit.
Man.
So then he ends it with ketamine, which is hilarious. But
little wet bits or
he
whatever.
took
man.
fucking the aluminum cleaner. He said that he was laying on the floor in his fucking kitchen, wedged against the like fridge and the counter or whatever, and he was like trying to go call 911, but he couldn't move.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man, and fucking lived. Like that's crazy, man. Like I mean, I would never do that. Obviously, like that's some
Yeah.
fucked up shit. But he was talking about all the fucked up shit he did.
Man,
I'm like-
he used to do like airsoft whippets or
The
whatever.
nitrous oxide and
Nitrous
shit.
oxide
he used to
shit,
do
man.
Fucking
Dude, cocaine. He said he saw like
head
ghosts
cleaner?
come in, smoke a bong off his
That's
table
from the
and stuff.
fucking.
Joe Rogan, maybe, or
Well, no, no. But I
something.
was saying that was from. Yeah, that was from the Whippets. Yeah.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
he said people. Yeah, the one guy came in and smoked a bong. The guy walked in the room, smoked a bong, nodded his head, and walked out. And then but it was never there. And then people came into his room
yeah,
and sat down and gave him an intervention.
yeah.
They were never there.
Yeah, he was talking about being so high that like he was like reaching other frequencies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's
man.
what allowed him
Yeah.
to see like
They
these
were
things.
telling him at one point. He said they were telling, and I watched this one video. I just watched this video today or yesterday. While he's telling the story, they're showing this video. He's got these 2 fucking containers, whipped cream containers, to
Whip
make
it.
your own whipped cream.
Oh,
And you put your like charge in it, and then you put your cream in it, and you like fucking put it out. But if you don't put the cream in, you just get the fucking shit. So he's telling this story about how these like ghosts or whatever are telling him to like suffocate himself with nitrous oxide.
crazy.
And so then he's sitting there, he takes the fucking 2 machines, he fills them up, he goes
yeah, that's what he said.
he must do 5 of them
Yeah.
at one point, and then he's sitting there, he's like and like falls over on the couch and shit. And at that point, when you're like fucking twitching and shit like that,
Yeah.
your body is like trying to live. Like
Yeah.
it wants oxygen and it's
Right,
trying to live.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like that's fucked.
Yeah.
But then I
Yeah.
guess you get like some fucked up feeling from it. I don't know. Like, but like to do that much, man. He said the companies are sending him cases
Yeah,
of this shit to his house.
cases, man. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
kept it going, man.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's right.
Wild.
Insane.
Yeah, it's nuts that he's
You know what you
still
should
alive.
watch?
That's for sure.
It
I
is,
actually I
man.
forget what it's called, but it was like a 1 hour fucking thing on MTV. It was 1 episode or whatever, and it was Steve-O, and it was all these videos of like him doing drugs and shit. So there was like one part where he's like in his apartment
Yeah.
and he like takes ketamine, like pours it on the like you know how like there's like the spinning plate in your microwave,
Yeah,
like
right.
pours it on that, and like microwaves it, and he pulls it out and it's all like powder. And he just rails the whole fucking thing.
What?
The
And it was like
man,
a
that's
fucking pile, like
insane.
yeah,
Oh
rails the
my
whole thing.
God.
And then at the same time he's doing whippets and shit. Fucking, he would take his boogers and shit, like whenever he's doing coke, and he'd blow his boogers out into like cans and smoke them in the
What?
pop can and shit. And like
That's
he
ridiculous.
said he never smoked crack, but he did that.
Man,
That's like a
that's
level of-
fiend. That's
yeah.
a fiend.
And then fucking, so then at one of the videos, the cops come and tell him to like keep it down because the neighbor ratted him out. So the
Yeah.
cops leave, and he breaks fucking holes in the wall and puts his speakers in the wall and plays his like rap CD or whatever. And then he goes out and he's like kicking the neighbor's door and shit. And then the cops come and they arrest him for like vandalism and all this shit. And then they show him, they're like, put the camera down, like put your cigarette out. They arrest him, bring him out the door. And all he has on is a pair of shorts. That's it. Well, what did he have in a pair of shorts? Fucking half ounce of cocaine. So they rearrested him for They were gonna like, I guess, like arrest him and then like let him go or something.
Yeah.
Or no, they would have taken him either way. But anyways, they rearrested him or whatever. I guess that just means they like laid another charge or whatever for him having the cocaine or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Just like holy fuck, man, like
Crazy.
wild.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's nuts that he's still alive.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure, man. And like some of
absolutely.
the stories he tells, man, like holy fuck. Well, like you said, like you were saying too, like the ghosts and shit or like
Yeah.
whatever. Like, well, and you know what's okay, man? I'm gonna say one thing right
Can you
now,
imagine
though.
if that was real though? It's just like he's seeing some other fucking
But-
universe that's actually going
Right.
on.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing. But you know what's
Some other
fucked up?
dude's
But
just
here's the
like,
thing,
"Oh."
man. But here's the thing. I'm gonna say one thing right now. So like, I did ketamine, and like, I fucking came up with this like idea, and like, I won't get too much into it, but I came up with this idea, and I explained it to my brother, and he goes, "Man," he's like, "That's the fourth dimension," and I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Space and time," and I'm like, "But how does that relate to what the fuck I said?" And he's like, "It's space. That's the fourth dimension. Like, did you ever know anything about the fourth dimension before?" I'm like, "No." He's like,
Fourth dimension
You
is
just-
apparently time, right?
"Well, yeah," but he's like, "Man, he's like, you just fucking discovered it, but like without knowing about it at all, right?" I'm like,
Figured it
"That's
out.
fucked up, man." Yeah, but then there's a video on this video that I watched the other day or whatever of Steve-O, and he's talking about ketamine, and it shows him now like a video of him high on ketamine, and he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "There's a fourth dimension," and he's like, "And it's time." And like, if you saw that, you would think he's just some fucked up dude. But I'm like, man. And then then he talks about how he thinks that doing ketamine like helped him to like discover things like this, like the like other realities or whatever, not other realities, but other like universes or realms or whatever, you know, or dimensions, I guess. But yeah, like, and like some of the shit he was saying, I'm like, man, I'm like, that is so similar to things that I like discovered or thought of, that it's not a joke. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's like something that you can't ignore, you know? Like the DMT thing, there's a guy, he has got a grow up. It's called the House of the Great Gardener. The guy calls it the House of the Great Gardener because the house of is what people call their dojos and shit, like karate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The house of or whatever. So and he's into that, so it's the house of. And then the Great Gardener is, so he did DMT and he like had this vision where there was like these stairs going up to like this cloud. And so he went up the stairs and he went onto this cloud. And on the cloud there was this like garden or whatever, right? And there was this old man and whatever, like
It's the Garden of Eden and it's God.
Yeah, well, and he said basically what you would picture God looking like long robe and like white beard and stuff, whatever. And this is what this guy looked like. And the guy is like Styles or like whatever the guy's name is or whatever. He's like, I see that you're taking care of like all like that is green or whatever, you know, because the guy grows weed and shit. So he's like, I see that you're like doing this and whatever, blah, 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 this and that. And he gives him some tips or whatever, you know, maybe not tips, but like some direction or whatever. So then he comes out of it and he's like, well, it's fucked up. Yeah, like weird, whatever. So now like fast forward, I don't know, like a week, a month, a year, whatever. Sometime later, one of his buddies went to some place where, I'm bad with details, I guess. But it was a place where they do DMT a lot, or maybe like where it was like very common or whatever, right? Or it was like ritualistic or whatever. But point is that they brought back this book for him, and it was this tribe made the book, and it was like all visions that they saw in DMT. So he gives the guy his friend gives him the book. He takes the book and he opens it up. And the page he opens it up to is the guy, there's a picture of the guy he saw on his DMT trip. And his name is the Great Gardener. So that's why he calls his place House of the Great Gardener. But my point is that how can these two people have that same vision? And if they have a name for this guy, clearly more than one person saw this dude. So like this guy, these would have been like some old tribe or something, or maybe like some old pictures, I'm kind of assuming. But point is that that's not coincidence in my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy's lying too, but but it's just like that's fucked.
Have you ever heard of Duncan Trussell?
No.
I've heard of that name.
I don't think so.
So Duncan Trussell, he's like listen to him rant. He rants about like, you know, psychedelics and shit like that sometimes.
Oh yeah. Where do you find that on YouTube
he's not
or whatever?
like the long, like shaggy-haired guy, is he?
I don't know actually what he looks like. I've only ever heard his voice.
I think I'm wrong. Is he British? Like,
no, I don't think he's
okay.
So
I'm thinking
he's
of
a comedian guy. Like I think he's a writer, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
How do you spell it? TRUSSLE?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to write it down so I can remember.
Russell.
Yeah, Duncan Trussell. Anywho, so I think I heard of him on the Dan Harmon podcast first of all.
Okay.
Oh, Dan Harmon. I want to say this. Community.
Yeah, he's the right.
But he's also Rick and Morty.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah.
And like Monster House and like a bunch of other.
So I knew that he was Rick and Morty because you told me. But then I just saw his name on Community. I'm like, what?
Yeah. He's the writer. Yeah. So, anyways, he has a podcast too called Harmontown.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. I think it's ended now. Actually, he might have ended it recently. But it went on for years and years. And that's beside the point. And now I forget where I started the story from.
His podcast and Duncan Trussell.
Duncan Trussell. Right. Absolutely. So he has this theory, or he was talking about how there's this other realm that is waiting for people, or that just exists, that you gain access to when you are, you know, high on fucking some crazy drug.
Right.
So he's like, there's like these other realms of like, you know, other beings and other technology and other knowledge and information, and they're waiting to share this information with people or whoever can make it to this other dimension or whatever. And it's like most of the time it's just like a bunch of fucking teenagers that don't know what the fuck's going on, right? So they're like, man, we're waiting for some like people to share this crazy information. He says, I'm just paraphrasing basically what his argument is, but he says this better than I do. But yeah, we're waiting to send this information to some like people that will pass it on and like change the world. But you just keep sending just dumb teenagers. Yeah, I don't know. It was just funny, like the way he words it. But yeah, basically, it's like he was saying that same thing. How like it can access different dimensions and worlds and reality and shit like that. And yeah. Anyways, listen to Duncan Trussell rant about psychedelics and talk about that shit.
I am.
He even has the mushroom theory about how like Christianity and Jesus, and like how some dude went into the bush and just ate a bunch of mushrooms and was tripping the fuck out and saw a bush burning and heard voices talking to him and made a bunch of rules up and was like, you know what I mean?
Well, you know the Mexicans. Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's like Mexicans. That might be a bad term, or not a bad term, but bad for the scenario that I'm explaining. But this guy goes to Mexico. He does episodes. Every episode's about a different like psychedelic drug, Hamilton Pharmacopoeia. But he goes for mushroom everywhere. Every drug he does, he goes to like where it's from or like where it's whatever, right? So he goes to Mexico for mushrooms, and apparently, like when they have like stained glass windows and shit, or like a painting of like fucking Adam and Eve eating the apple or whatever, the apple isn't an apple, it's mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
So they think that the fruit was like mushrooms, and like so when Buddy goes to this one place, there's like these two old like Mexican dudes or whatever, and he goes in, and out in the garden this guy brings him these mushrooms, and like the guy speaks Spanish, so like he can't talk to him, and so the guy gives him the mushrooms and he takes them. He's like, should I take them? And he's just like so he takes them. So he goes in and he's talking to these guys, and like they had like mushrooms all out like drying everywhere and shit. So he's talking to these guys, and he's like, the guy in the garden gave me some mushrooms. He's like, should I have eaten them? And like after what they explain about like all like how it's related or whatever, he's like, God will tell you. And like because like that's what they think, that's what a bad trip is that it's like God being like, you're not using it properly, or like not a good time for you to do it or whatever. What's that yellow bar mean?
YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. It's not about that.
No, okay, it's fine. I just saw it pop up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a warning. Like the actual streaming is
still good.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, everything goes smoothly.
Just making sure.
If it's going solid anyway.
But yeah, they believe there that the forbidden fruit was mushrooms.
Right. Totally, I've heard that before.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that somebody fucking ate mushrooms and like created it.
Yeah.
So that's what Duncan Trussell.
Well, he talks about a lot of stuff.
Is he repeating this stuff, or is
he's
that
just a
his
funny
own?
dude? No, yeah, he talks about just like books that he's read and like theories that, like he's just very funny, and he talks about it, and he's got a weird funny voice too, and like he's just
like a little white dude with glasses.
Again, I'm
you
not
haven't
actually
seen
sure
him.
what he looks like.
Is he like Scottish or not Scottish, but like
he's
he's got
Scottish.
like an accent?
I think no, I don't think so.
No,
I think
okay.
he's just like an American dude.
I'm thinking of he's like on like the Colbert Report or something like that.
Could be.
Yeah, are you ready for it?
Oh,
You ready for it?
yeah. Oh, is this him?
There you go. He's got a big old beard and shit.
Yeah.
He looks like Dan Harmon.
He kind of does, actually. Like a younger version, maybe.
It's hilarious.
He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, I believe. in,
He's
like, a
been on.
funky
Yes, he
suit
has
maybe
been
or
on
something.
that a couple times, I
Yeah.
think.
Fuck yeah, I have to get my podcast on the way down to Gord.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
Fuck. Yeah, no, that Kevin Hart one was pretty good.
that's a good one, man. Very inspiring for sure.
Well, what you guys saying?
Hey, man,
should we
it's
wrap
been
it up or
it's
what?
been a good one for
It
sure.
has been.
This
All right.
Pink Whitney's
It's been a
got me.
pleasure. Yeah, man. It's too easy to drink.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's always
Yeah, I
been,
know. I was just looking too. I'm like, fuck, bottle's fucking
almost
like a
Almost
third
there,
gone.
left.
man. Yeah,
But like, and I was like, man, I only had two. But like, it's you put a lot in. You know what I
And
mean?
yeah,
And like,
yeah.
but yeah, no. I just want to say one motherfucking thing, 2, 3, 4, 7 different things. Thanks
Get
to Greengrass Oasis for supplying our trees and some edibles, everything cannabis. I just want to say right now though, that 1.5 fucking peppers got me feeling pretty good.
Oh man. I gotta say, actually, I've been kind of munching on the orange and
How are the orange
green.
ones?
The orange ones are good, man. They're the
Nice.
last 2 I just took, and
Oh
they go well with the Pink Whitney, actually.
yeah, I like that fucking. I like that this MCT oil. I like that. Normally, man, like fuck, I had one, man. I fucking drank half of a bottle, and it just didn't. I didn't really drink half a bottle,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
put
yeah.
like a few droppers in and like
Right.
whatever.
I'll let you know. I'll do my review over
yeah.
this week for sure. And,
Yeah.
And then
Next
actually, you know what? Really
Friday,
quick,
man.
Yeah. I'll
while
let
we
you
have
know.
you guys here, I want to show you something.
Let's get it. But yeah, no. I've eaten 4 of these now. They all taste great, and I'm definitely feeling very swell. Oh,
The Mega Gold Bar.
That's it
Look at that. 1,000
in
milligrams.
all her glory.
1,000 milligrams for the boys. Look at that. Number 0000420. Oh! Can't wait to pass that around.
Yeah.
I got a fucking little thing to say too. You know what's funny is the car that I got from my sponsor, the number on it is 13 on the fucking windshield. And I'm like, oh shit.
Is that like unlucky for you or something?
well,
or-
13 is just unlucky, but at the same time too, for me, things that are unlucky are usually lucky, but where was I going with this?
I'm not
Number
sure.
13. So there's number 13 on it, right? So I went and I dropped my brother off, and I was standing on one side of the car, and he was on the other side of the car. And I looked down, and the VIN number, the last 3 numbers of the VIN number, 420. I was like, nah.
It's like it's
this is
lucky
the
and
lucky
unlucky.
car, man. This is the lucky car, bro. Too bad it wasn't Friday the 13th. God damn. But yeah, that's so sick. Any motherfucking way. Thanks to our sponsor at Oasis, Greengrass Oasis, Pikwakanagan,
Jonesy.
Cocoa Mist Road, 341B, just off Highway 60 past Eganville. Or if you're too far from there, try Tyndonega by Belleville and Shannonville, which is, I think, like near Kingston, some shit.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
well.
And that's if you're looking for any types of. Oh, we got this Shatter 2. Holy fuck! I also want to say a big shout out to my sponsor, my dad. Once again,
Aw, man.
thanks
Huge
for
shout out.
everything, and thanks to you guys. Cheers to you guys,
Hey, man, cheers to you.
and
Much love to all you Basement
Cheers
Widow
to you
fans.
guys.
Yay,
Yeah.
cheers to all
Cheers.
y'all.
thanks for coming by. Thanks for having us, gang. Drive safe, everybody. Happy fucking weekend.
That's right. Have a safe one.
Forge Audio
Peace.
Podcast. We out of here.
Catch y'all on the next one.